Oh dear, I think I know what this is. You see, Stan, as you get older, things that you used to like start looking and sounding like shit. And things that seemed shitty as a child don't seem as shitty. With you, somehow the wires have gotten crossed and everything looks and sounds like shit to you. It's a condition called being a cynical asshole.
Oh no.
Yes. And there's no known cure, I'm afraid. Everything just seems shitty and everyone starts to seem shitty and everything they say just starts...
It stinks. It stinks. It stinks.
Yes, Mr. Sherman, everything stinks.
How dare you?
Why? He always does this. Just to rub it in my face. I can't even get out of this thing.
What? You got a Rancor too now?
His is bigger.
What?
Yes.
Yours has like big crazy horns and shit.
No, his is the cantina. His is the cantina.
Oh my god.
Edition.
Oh my god.
Listen, he has spikes. Listen, I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful for the adopted. He's got spikes. Look at him. Well, now he won't stop. See, he plays this game. Like I try to catch up to him, and then he just runs away. Stop running.
No, my brother is just the Tard Wrangler of the two of us. He has to lead us around and be like, come on, come.
Do you see his spikes? They're orange.
Yes, they are. Quite nifty. And yours has big, gnarly horns. What are you crying about?
No, his are orange.
No, I get that he has the like spikes around his back and stuff that are orange and everything, but you got big gnarly horns on the freaking head of the Rancor you got. Pretty cool.
No, his are orange.
Did you want what? You wanted orange? An orange spiked Rancor? Would that have made you feel a little better?
No. Where are we going? I'm hungry. There's stuff at the gas station.
Own your truth. You know, it was difficult. It was at first. I mean, you just cornered me like that and everything. But you know, it's a little liberating now to know I can like Star Wars in more ways than I ever imagined. Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars. KK is doing an amazing job. The people out there are just blind and can't see it. So yes, thank you. I can stop lying now.
Are you sure? Damn, that's not good.
When you get... Instead of just like trying to slap something out like the Star Wars experience and crap, but when you have, I'm sorry, it's true though.
No,
it's like
I just got back from. Oh, I just died.
I just watched that. It was hilarious.
How do I get back up there?
1 week later.
I don't know what I was doing, but from that angle, I just jumped.
You just walked right off the cliff. It was hilarious.
I don't know what I was doing, but I was like, that's funny. I was just like, do, and I was like over here, and I was like, woo. Oh, see, you thought I was gonna do it.
And he did it. All right.
Oh,
I missed it.
I was fully. I did not to do it. I was just messing around.
Yeah, you.
With W.
Oh, that was gold. That was. Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sith, number 144. Ooh, feeling it. Getting close there. Getting almost to that to 145, then 150. We're getting there, and then the next thing you know, we'll be on our 200th. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I am your host, the Fractured Filter. And with me tonight is, as always, my friend, my compatriot, my buddy in all this madness, Jay Hitman. How are you tonight, sir?
First of all, I was not prepared for the short, and I was at least gauging for 1 minute and 42 seconds. So you must have started that.
As soon as I said I am starting the intro got started, and you had a whole 5 minutes before anything was happening.
You probably should have said, "Hey, I'm starting the intro," so I knew that you were starting the intro.
Well, you know what? Here, let me ask a little somebody here, because we've got somebody joining us tonight, and let me bring him in just right, because how else better than just like this?
Chiefs, you got any input for the trailers that we saw?
Yeah, when can I play as Ahsoka?
Please leave my lecture room. I don't want to see you at one of my lectures ever again.
And Chiefster, hello, how are you, sir? It's been a long time.
Oh, has it been a long time? I didn't realize. I was pretty sure I came on several times in the last few times you had been doing this, right? I promised I would, so that happened.
2 years ago. Starfield.
Oh, and the Jay Hitman gaslighting starts early because, yeah, Fractured definitely said we're starting. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
But I appreciate that. I love the gaslighting starting early. I want us to get going. I want us to have the tomfoolery happening right away. You got to get right into it and get silly.
You should have told me. I would have been better prepared.
Well, why
Where have you been all of our life?
Why prepare you when it's much more a lot more fun to spring them on you like this?
Yeah, that's how it happens. That's organic. You know, I just show up, I leave, I don't show up again for probably 2 years. I don't know, whatever.
Here's the thing, and I told Fractured this last week. I said, you're like a peacock. And what I mean by that is, for the children that are listening, is have you ever tried to tell a peacock what to do? No, you haven't, because you can't. They do what they want, and that's it. And you embody kind of actually both a unicorn and a peacock, because sometimes you're never to be seen like the unicorn, and you do what you want like the peacock. You're like a peacorn.
I can't say you're wrong. Yeah,
like
that's pretty accurate. Peacorn? Ooh, peacorn. It sounds horrible, but I love it.
Peacorn.
Oh my god.
You know, the last time we streamed, this guy made me think I was following him, and I was just following some rando for like 5 minutes.
Well,
and I would have you know that last time we also streamed, you both denied me my Rancor on Nar Shaddaa.
Isn't it funny that I played that clip too of the Rancor and everything, and yet here he's already one of the first things he's going right into is the Rancor.
By the way, speaking of, the Sutor is doing that event again, so if you want to go gamble for it, you can log in and do that anytime, sir.
It's not the same without the three of us doing it.
Well, the question becomes, how and when would we get together again to do this? Because our Sundays have now been taken up with Wormhole Watch, so that's not been an option. Unless you're willing to get up early on a Wednesday or Thursday morning, because I know you work late and all, but those are when we're not. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of tough.
Well, if you want, you can give me access to your account and I'll gamble for you. Don't worry, you can trust me.
Yeah, you could trust
all my money. No, all my money would be going.
All those credits vanish.
I believe Palpatine also said that Anakin could trust him, and then Wallop goes the leg, arm, and other leg.
Well, I mean, that wasn't Palpatine's fault, so.
Yeah, that was kind of a Obi-Wan shish kebabbing going on there.
Palpatine orchestrated it, though. He sent him there, so therefore, by proxy, he's responsible.
From a certain point of view, I guess you're
Of you.
right.
That's a bit tenuous. He sent them there to deal with some filthy alien, separatists, not to get chopped up by Obi-Wan.
That's true. He's got you there, dude.
I'm so excited that Schuster has graced us with his presence. So
Are you sure about that?
I am. It's been 2 years, 23 days, and now 15. No, not quite.
Before
15
we
minutes.
weve live, you said it was 1 year. Now you're on to 2 years.
Reset the counter.
Yeah, we verified.
We need a Sheev appears counter now.
Oh.
We did the math. It was 2 years. Starfield was 2 years ago.
Oh, that's
because
right.
we watched. Was it Babyface or the crybaby guy?
Yeah. His spurg out with the pronouns and stuff. Yeah.
That guy.
That guy is the baby man.
Yeah, it's like you literally bought the game just to play it, so you could just complain about it.
Bought it. Not only bought it, pre-ordered it, and paid well over $100 to get in the early access for it. So
just to yell at it.
Which, for anybody that knows Bethesda at this point, damn well should have known what the fuck they were walking into. But hey,
Hey,
what?
Don't be talking crap on Bethesda. They created one of the greatest games of all time.
They get all of the hate they absolutely deserve, sir.
What's the greatest game of all time?
New Vegas.
Actually, that was not made by Bethesda, but that was actually Obsidian.
And then they never made anything good ever again.
That was the last.
I'm pretty sure that was Bethesda.
They might have been more of a publisher, but they were not the developers.
Pretty sure. I don't think the Sith could return without us knowing.
Do I have to start digging up information just to show you?
No, Bethesda did do it.
Oh my god.
Listen, I'm about as accurate as on this issue as Joe Biden was on border control.
Not at all.
Quote unquote deported more than Trump.
That's actually crazy. There's far more. Or far less from a certain point of view.
Exactly.
It's always from a certain point of view.
So Bethesda did it?
Yes. No, what? No.
Yeah. Oh, you heard it.
I don't know. He kind of got you there.
Fuck.
He said
no,
it.
For New Vegas, that was Obsidian that made that game.
Well, Bethesda made it possible, though, by making a brilliant game like Fallout 3 in the first place.
So by proxy,
the Obsidian, the Oblivion with guns.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get better than that? Tell me.
Spider-Man 2.
Skyrim with guns? Come on.
Skyrim 2 or no Spider-Man 2.
Oh boy.
Choose your gender.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yep, Bethesda, thank you.
Glock is your new wand.
I don't know what he said there, but yes, absolutely.
The Glock is your new wand.
The Glock, the gun. So the gun is your new wand. Okay. All right. Should I just say hi to the chat really quick before you guys keep this shtick up?
That's not a shtick. We haven't talked in 2 years.
I'm insulted.
Every time I try to see him at work, he's hiding somewhere.
This is true.
The rafters. He's lurking.
He's like staying up in the rafters.
Plague is on the Acolyte. He's just hiding behind walls in caves.
Oh god.
I'll take staying in the rafters over Acolyte hiding in the shadows.
That is probably the more preferable. Yes, I agree. So first, really quick for the chat, we did have Star Wars Marvel Pure saying, "What's up, gentlemen?" And then Melissa Lord coming in with the Hey Fractured filter. But we also got a bit of a special celebration as she hangs out here. Hope you're having a wonderful day, Melissa Lord. But she's saying, "I'm partying like it's my birthday because it is." Well, very happy birthday to you. Hope your day has been going great.
Woo! I'm partying with you.
Yeah, we had a really awesome
Remember,
dinner.
it's Saturday, and Bajorans are still filthy.
Well, the Bajorans will always be filthy. And hello, Small Time Republic. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Otherwise, yeah. So, whew. Hitman, you want to save your little spiel for last?
Oh yeah.
You think that's gonna be
the best
icing
for
on the
last.
cake, the cherry on top?
It always is when it involves a certain somebody.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Well then.
It's not like we have, limited things to talk about in Discord.
No, I know we've got plenty. We've certainly got plenty. I just wanted to make sure. And hello.
Well, we could always
Go ahead.
Well, I was like, when in doubt, we could always talk about how the Switch 2 just re-released Switch 1 games and are charging
I
almost
believe
double the price.
we have tackled that a bit. We've certainly tackled the.
Can we talk about the fact that they literally just re-released Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild for Switch 2, and the only difference is it's just better graphics. So you're paying.
Yeah, just a slight pitch up for the graphics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, come on. The thing is, though, with that issue, is that Microsoft's done it and PlayStation's done it. So
I don't remember them ever doing that.
It's a tough one to. But I mean, the whole now with games being the $80 price tag is the main kick in the balls. Like I've said to other people, and I know others are in the same mindset, is that it's gonna be being left down to GTA 6, Grand Theft Auto 6, and what that's gonna with that release, if it's gonna be over $100, because that's gonna that'll set the standard for even more for a potential bigger price hike in video games. So
Wait, there's a Switch 2?
I know, surprising, right?
And they just call it Switch 2 instead of like Dolphin?
Or GameCube?
2?
2. Yeah, no. We have the back seat. Go ahead.
You're talking about the Dolphin emulator?
Well, there is the Dolphin emulator, but the Dolphin was either the Nintendo 64 or GameCube project title, or that was the code name for the console.
I think it was for GameCube.
Yeah, I want to say it was for the GameCube.
Can we just go back to the year of GameCube and Mario Sunshine?
I still need to play that. Even though
I do feel robbed. I do feel robbed not having a console called Dolphin. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Not good. It's a travesty of the highest order.
It's either PS4s, Xbox 3 somethings, but no Dolphins. I could be playing a Dolphin and they robbed that from me. This is horrendous.
It is.
They did. That's true.
I'm afraid I have to say death to Nintendo.
Holy shit.
Like
in Minecraft. In Minecraft.
Minecraft Fortnite.
Indeed.
You could be playing as Hero Brian.
As who?
He is the best.
Hero Brian. You've heard of Hero Brian, right?
I'm drawing a blank.
He's like
Chicken Jockey? Come on, you understand, right? Minecraft?
No, he's like the opposite of Minecraft Steve. But terrifying.
I didn't realize there's an opposite of Minecraft Steve.
Yeah, technically I think it was a glitch in the game and created I That's what I'd heard. Don't take my word for it. But no, there is. Look it up. Hero Brian right now. Do it now before you get to the chat. Do it. Do it. Do it, Caesar. Do yours. Do it. Go.
So Minecraft Hero Brian, that's what I'm looking for.
Just look up just Hero Brian.
Hero Brian. Is that Hero Brine? Brine?
Sure.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Hero Brian. Hero Brian. He's terrifying. He's what nightmares are made out of.
This is the first thing we're gonna be going into. Good lord.
You're the one who doesn't know who Hero Brian is.
All right, I am sharing the screen.
Give it a minute. Let me get to Jeremy.
I'm sorry, Fracture. You have to learn just not to humor him. Don't Google anything. Just kind of move on.
I do, but I try not to hurt his feelings. I feel like I do that too much to him.
You do when you blackpill me.
So Hero Brian is an urban legend and creepypasta from the sandbox video game Minecraft. He is often depicted as a version of the Minecraft character Steve, but with solid white eyes that lack pupils, and behavior that primarily involves destroying the player's world. Isn't that just when you bring in some rando dickbag that decides I'm going to cause chaos?
He's the Broly of Minecraft.
The story originated from an anonymous post on 4chan's V-board in 2010, where the author reported encountering a strange... I can't believe this is on the official Wikipedia. This isn't like urban...
No, here's the thing. No, it is. And here's the thing. We have somebody that works with us that was playing the game, and this guy showed up. Hero Brian showed up in the game.
Allegedly.
No, 100%. Scientifical fact.
You can trust him, man.
Yes.
The story was further popularized after live streamers Copeland and Patimus created their own versions. So that's where some of this is stemming from, is two dingbats that recreated it. But this was just a 4chan troll. That's all it is.
It's the thing. People claim that this was a glitch in the game. That's how he first came about in the game. It was some type of something in the algorithm or something. I'm not even joking. That's what I heard.
Even though it's described as an urban legend and a creepypasta.
Okay, so Sasquatch is also an urban legend, but people have seen Sasquatch. Heck, people claim to be once married to Sasquatch. But you hear people all the time like, "Oh yeah, that looks like my ex-wife."
This is what I get for humoring him.
I'm being serious. You're over here like, "Oh, it's not real." Like multiple people have said that, one, they have seen him, and two, that is some type of glitch within like the coding. I'm telling the truth because I just used a bionic word.
Bionic word?
Yes, coding. I don't know what it is. Probably has something to do with codes.
So the author claimed to encounter a mysterious entity while playing the game. Post claimed that shortly after starting a new world, author saw what they believed to be a cow in the distance, which they approached in order to kill it. Upon approaching it, they instead saw a second player character with solid white eyes staring at them from the fog before... Oh my god! Before vanishing.
Totally real.
God. Why are you so cynical, and why won't you believe anything I tell you?
After the encounter, the author noticed numerous strange structures they did not create. Claimed that when trying to contact other players about the event, they found their posts removed, eventually receiving a message from a user named Hero Brian that simply said, "Stop." Anonymous post went on to claim that other players informed him that Hero Brian was the alias of the brother of Notch, creator of Minecraft. The 4chan post claimed that Notch said in response to queries about whether he had a brother, quote, I did, but he is no longer with us.
You know, you keep reading, and you are such a champ for that. You know, I'm just amazed. You just keep reading. Great on you. This is so real, and I'm thrilled. I'm shaking in my boots. Honestly, this is scary. It's kind of scaring me. You know, to think this could be in my Minecraft. What is this?
I don't know who I believe less, Fractured or Sheepster.
I'm just merely reading what is written here,
But
sir.
you don't believe it's a thing.
Come on, who's more trustworthy than live streamers reporting this? I believe it 100%. And Notch. Notch never lies.
Well, Doomcock lies.
Well, yeah, but yeah, we already know he's not a credible source of things. So, ugh.
Okay, we believe this, so go ahead and close the wiki and let's just move on.
Moving on. All right, now let me get to some of the other chat here. We have the backseater that came in saying, just got back from my dad's cousin's kids graduating from both college and high school. Oh boy, that's a busy day. Marvel Purist saying, at the end of the day, Man of Steel will remain better and more profitable than Supergun. Melissa Lord says Melissa Lord says she has Dolphin. And hello, Brady Wells. How are you today? Saying, in the Star Wars Holiday Special, Chewbacca's dad watched porn in the living room in the middle of the afternoon on a holiday. Yeah, old was that Itchy?
Yeah, that was Itchy, and he was just enjoying a quality VR experience.
Absolutely. Along with moving around his obscene jowl. That's like the only thing that comes away from that.
He was hideous and would make a very fitting Trandoshan trophy.
Jeez. I don't know about that. I don't even know if a Trandoshan would want that up on their wall.
What, of a Bajoran?
No,
it's always Bajorans with this guy.
It's his new nemesis.
It's not new. It's always been there.
Just lurking until you finally watch Deep Space Nine, and then you realize.
No. They were in next.
It finally gave you a name to the enemy you knew all along.
They were in Next Gen, and they were filthy then too. I just rhymed. I just made a rhyme.
Very good, sir. Very good.
I'm a poet.
You just didn't know it.
You're very lyrical.
How is it that we bring Sheepster on here and it's gone completely off the rails?
Hasn't gone off the rails. That's off the.
What did you expect, honestly?
I know. It's about what I expected. It's just still kind of funny though. We bring him
That's
on.
That's crazy. You did not expect this. This is totally impromptu. No planning whatsoever.
Well, certainly not for you. You weren't expecting this. I wasn't 100% sure.
Okay, well, fair play. So, are we done with Herobrine then?
I think we're done with Herobrine. Yes.
There's a lot of hate on the Minecraft movie because they did not put him in.
What?
Yeah.
Out of all the things they could have put in,
I think I saw him in the movie, but that's just.
I would say, you sure not like a Easter egg or something in the background?
Could have been.
I only saw it once, so I don't know, but.
Kind of like Luthen. There's probably a myriad of Easter eggs in the movie.
No, Herobrine doesn't appear in the Minecraft movie.
Damn! What the hell?
That's for sure. Well, no. That movie was really bad. They could have done so much better with it, and they didn't.
Some say he accidentally, in a way, showed up because of Jack Black's eyes going all white for
So
the
I
scene.
actually may have been right.
But it's a totally separate entity, though. So it's still Jack Black who's playing Steve.
Well, Hero Brian is a copy of Minecraft Steve.
Right, but there'd have to be a second one without the eyes and everything, right? That's the whole
No, not
point.
necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yeah, it could be like the entity of Hero Brian took over Jack Black, right?
That's plausible. Not outside the realm of possibility.
I just don't even know anymore.
That it showed up or didn't.
I just you know
All right, Fractured. I'm going to say it's time to move on with your obsession with Minecraft, the movie, and Jack Black. So let's just go over to whatever is next and do that. Your obsession is killing me here, buddy.
Agreed. Move along. Nothing to see here. Move along.
I'm just regretting everything.
Fracture's kind of dying inside right now.
Listen, there's no shame in liking Minecraft. I think it's a pretty decent game.
Right? And
Fortnite.
you know, you love Jack Black, so it's a perfect fit, but it's time to move on. You know, this is time to move on.
I don't know you like Jack Black. You never told me that.
Oh yeah, he has all his albums.
Really?
All his movies. He loves the Cable Guy because Jack Black's in it.
Does he like Tenacious D?
Oh, he loves Tenacious D, absolutely.
Why
He
have you
has
never
that
told
on
me?
Blu-ray.
Why have you never told me this, Fractured? Out of all the years, I never knew that you liked Tenacious D.
I'm trying to find something that'll bring punishment upon you.
Ooh.
I like the sound of that.
But I'm not having any luck.
On a shoe. Listening to Jack Black's punishment enough.
New Tenacious D album? Come on, let's go.
I feel like I just have to just throw something on and I'll just walk away and let you guys endure it.
No, don't do that. Real talk though, side question.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about the Steam Deck. Somebody at work was telling me that their third option, which is like the highest one, has overheating problems. Have you heard about this?
Not that I've heard of. No. That's actually the
was like-
first time I've heard of any like major problems like that.
Yeah, I was like, it's hard to believe that I would spend, 650, which is, still I think I said this last year. I'd still be more apt to buy a Steam Deck. I would buy a Steam Deck over a Switch too.
Yeah,
but,
I would still go the Steam Deck route just for the like there's the Steam Deck basically emulator, which will then allow you to basically play a multitude more of games than already was in your library. So I Melee Games had the specific name for it, but yeah, so I if I was gonna go for any handheld, that would probably be it.
the third level, or does it matter? Because I'm seriously considering buying one, but like if I do it, like I'm just gonna do like the 650 because it has the most RAM. But yeah, this guy was pretty adamant on saying that like there's a lot of overheating issues with it because it's not obviously like on a PC you can put cool it could be liquid cooling and there's other stuff you can do to cool down your computer, like have I heard somebody had like fans inside the tower, like additional fans. I don't know if fans are actually in the tower, but he had like a liquid cooling system, and there was a pad that his tower sat on that cooled the tower, and then he had like external fans also on top of that. So essentially, this dude could probably play like and just never turn his computer off with as much cooling that this guy had. But he also,
Hey there, Nightmare. He's asking Retro Arch or Emu Deck. Emu Deck was the one. Thank you. That was it. Emu Deck is the one I've heard James mention about emulating on the Steam Deck. And I did a quick search. The only thing that I found so far is saying Steam Deck OLED overheating on Windows 11, but not Steam OS. Person saying, I've had my Steam Deck OLED 1 terabyte for about a year now. Recently set it up to dual boot both Windows 11 and Steam OS with the storage split between the two. Now that I can see causing issues because I mean, the Steam Deck can already do a lot of crazy stuff as is, but like you're loading it with, of all things, Windows 11. But
you have an
yeah, I
option
guess
for iOS.
Huh?
Can you do it on iOS?
I mean, I would imagine people have probably done that because it acts as just like it's like a handheld computer. So if they, you know, format the hard drive to do so, they could install other things. Because I mean, Steam OS is kind of a Linux based sort of thing, operating system. So that was at least the first thing that popped up. Like I said, I could see Windows 11 probably overheating it.
Why would Windows overheat it in? I don't know anything about computers, so I don't know if it's Android or iOS. Like I don't know the like. Well, you couldn't. Well, maybe you could do it because I have a. No, never mind. Because you'd have to partition. If you had a Mac, you'd have to partition it in order to play games. Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Would you? Can you have a MacBook and play or SteamYard? Or I'm sorry, Steam games on Steam.
So long as the games are Mac compatible, yes, you'd be
So
able
if they're
to.
not Mac compatible, then
If
you
the
have to
games aren't Mac compatible, yeah, then you'd have to do like a
partition.
I only know mostly for like for like Linux, you can open up like a not DOS box, but something like that. But for it's like a Windows emulator to be able to play some games too that way. But I would imagine something like that, or just having a second like that person that do a second partition uh for a Windows install and then to switch between the two operating systems.
Why is Windows just crap? And why does Windows 11 cause it to overheat?
I don't know if that. I think dual booting might be causing the issues for that person for the overheating if that's what they're doing. But like I said, that was kind of like the first instance that I really found from doing a quick search. So, and now I'm just
that'd be crazy and shocking if
So yeah, it looks like there are some fixes for the Steam OLED overheating for some videos. So like it is, not everything gets assembled the same way because I'm sure it's all just all, automated factory assembly and stuff like that. So sometimes you get ones with problems, sometimes you don't. It's kind of like with game consoles, people have either had their Gen 1 console since launch and everything works fine still, maybe a little hiccup here or there, kind of like for us, we still have our PlayStation 4 that was a release console. Now the only thing that's kind of gotten janky with it is the disk drive. So, and I know my PS3 was working like a champ and I got that pretty early on, but I know people that had problems with their consoles. So, I mean, Jesus, I don't know how many 360s I had gone through.
I went through one.
But some people I knew didn't go through that problem. So, like it is, it's all different. Everybody kind of gets a different setup.
Yeah, at this point in time, I would expect that from like Nintendo, but from Steam, I would Be shocked.
Well, and here we have Nightmare saying, if lossless scaling worked on Linux, I'd consider switching. Steam OS is forked off of Arch Linux, I believe. Yeah, I think Static was even talking about that too. And then said overheating on Windows could happen because of different drivers. Thank you. I was trying to think of like what else could be causing those sort of problems. And then he said you'll probably need a virtual machine on Mac. That's okay. Again, that's what I was like, DOSBot. No, that's not it. I was trying to find, because I know Ross Scott of Accursed Farms has talked about doing all these little workarounds to try and get like old games to work. And I was trying to remember what the other like term basically was, and virtual machine is what I was looking for. So thank you, Nightmare. And he says you can't dual boot on Mac because there are no Windows drivers. Gotcha. And Marvel Pure saying Rings of Death got them 2 different systems. Right. Yeah, I had a couple of different. I think I had one system that crapped out, did that, and then I think I was bummed, but then I got like a new console, or we had 2 consoles anyways, and when that one died out, we were like, fine, screw it. And then kept the one that we had. That then it only finally died, and I got it replaced not too long ago. So, but speaking on this whole matter of handhelds, we do have Microsoft looking to apparently get into the game, which I have sharing. I'll go between 2 different articles here. So we got Niche Gamer first. Microsoft adding Steam games to Xbox PC app on Windows. In a surprising new announcement, Microsoft has revealed they've added the ability to include Steam games in your Xbox library. The new combined My Library on the Xbox app is now available for Xbox insiders on Windows, letting you connect and list your Steam and Battle.net games. You're kidding me. All on the same app, making it a single launcher for those PC games. With any new features out first for Xbox insiders, the rest of users on the Xbox ecosystem will have to wait until later this year for the full integration of their consolidated library. The new combined library will also be on new devices like the ROG Xbox Ally handheld and more. Yeah, because that's right. Xbox is entering the handheld market. Go figure. Quote, when a player installs a game from a supported PC storefront, it will automatically appear in My Library within the Xbox PC app, as well as the most recent list of titles in the sidebar, making it easier than ever to jump back into your games, said Manisha Oza, Xbox Platform Product Manager. Microsoft teased this is just the beginning of their efforts to add more competitive storefronts to the Xbox platform, with support for additional PC storefronts coming over time. As with any of these options, you can also toggle off the aggregate game library as well. If you want to add your Steam library to the Xbox app right now, you can download the Xbox Insider Hub on PC and join the PC gaming preview ring. See, I don't maybe this is just gonna be coming from me, but like, and mainly because I don't want the Microsoft. I don't even. I mean, if there comes a day where I can get away from Microsoft, I absolutely gonna do it. I'm gonna jump to Linux and find one of the distros that I like and go with that. But like it is, like I don't even want their Game Pass. I don't want to. I try to avoid giving them money at all costs. But to me, I just like I do my shopping between 2 different platforms. If anything, it's gonna be Steam or GOG. GOG I lean a little more towards just because of the whole DRM free stuff. You don't have to worry about it, and I can download the full game, have it as a backup, and play it online whenever I want. I don't know. What do you?
Hitman, you're a little more of the Xbox guy. So what do you think of this idea of them consolidating so many things to one platform?
I hate it. I don't like it. I think it's trash. I said last week, and the context of last week was, sharing exclusive games to the other platform, but like the whole Game Pass thing, like I don't like I like having two different entities, right? There's the Game Pass and then there's like Xbox Live, right? For
Right.
the entirety of Microsoft, to my knowledge, there's always been Xbox Live.
Right.
Right? You have the Xbox Live to pay online. I don't like monthly subscriptions. I like yearly subscriptions, and I like them separate because essentially, like you can get Game Pass, and it's $14.99 a month or whatever.
$19.99, I think.
Okay, 19. Thank you, $19.99 a month, and then you get access to all these games. But the caveat is, of course, as you know, you only get access to the games, even if you download it to your console, as long as you have that subscription. Because once you end it, then to
Then
my
you
knowledge,
lose
you don't
access to those
yeah.
games. Yeah,
So
I experienced that recently with Doom: The Dark Ages. I had a Game Pass code that I hadn't used yet. I was like, all right, to check out Doom, I'll throw it in there. And then yeah, absolutely. As soon as my month ran out, that was it. I lost all
gone.
access to the game. Even though I had it fully installed onto my computer.
Yeah. So this is just another example of it just really ties into what we talked about last week. It's all about money, and I don't like it. If Xbox wants to be PlayStation, then sell Microsoft to Sony. If Sony wants to be Xbox, we'll sell Sony to Microsoft, right? There's always been, and I'm here's the thing. I'm coming at this from not a gaming perspective, but I've always viewed it as kind of that rivalry. You're either a
Yeah.
PlayStation guy or an Xbox guy. You're Tupac, you're Biggie, you're Star Wars, or you're Star Trek. Now, the exception being recently that I've just discovered that Star Trek is fantastic outside Kurtzman, right? But the point I'm trying to drive here is like there's always been that separation of
Yeah.
consoles, right? And so it's just really I don't know why it bothers me so much. And it's not because I love the term shyster, but it is. Like it's now all about money. Let's consolidate and make as much money as we can and basically, double dip the bean dip. I just think it's, I can see like I guess from their perspective it's like, oh, it's a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
But
they're trying to
I don't
it's kind of like Elon Musk with X. He's trying to make it the one-stop hub for all social media. Microsoft is kind of trying to follow in that sort of mindset by making the Xbox platform all encompassing.
don't fix it if it's not broke.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you right now that if they make it to where if they get rid of the Xbox Gold membership, right, and they just do Game Pass.
Well, it is just Game Pass at this point because it's merged into it because you just get the Game Pass
No, they still
sub. And
no, they
well, I know
they
there's still
have
some of the cards out there for Xbox Live, but it's all one thing.
Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't know if that's actually happened because I can still go to you can still like I just recently updated my
Right.
Xbox
But that'll
membership.
give you access to the same stuff. Yeah.
No, well, I don't like it. So what I was saying is if they ever get rid of, like you said, Xbox Gold, I probably won't do Game Pass because for the simple fact that I don't I don't know. I'm very weird. I like the fact that if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I'm getting I'm becoming more, I guess, cynical to where I just think the whole gaming industry is all about. I mean, they've always been about making money, but recently more so than ever, it's just like don't care what the fans think. Don't care. Let's make all these decisions to make money. I get it. You're in a business, you make money, but like I don't know, man. That really bothered me when they released like Gears of War to PlayStation. Because that was the whole thing. I could go to a PlayStation Cretin and be like, "Oh, you guys suck. If you ever want to play a really good game, just come over and I'll let you play Gears of War." or I'll let you play Halo, right?
You know, I could see you actually taking part pretty heavy in the whole console wars.
I did, and I do. Because honestly, the only game that freaking PlayStation has to boast about, and boasting, I use that term very loosely, would probably be God of War.
Oh God. Maybe
And
once
that's
upon
it.
a time ago, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the more God of Wars that come out, you know, or they get diluted, and you know, with the whole ESG and DEI and LMNOP stuff going on, I mean, I'm sure it's probably infiltrated. But no, it's the console wars. It's no different than it was the Monday Night Wars with ECW or with WCW and Monday Night Raw. It's no different than
those
the
were the
PlayStation.
days. Those were the days.
It was.
Well, and then
And
like
I was,
that's what
and here's
started
the thing, I was so.
Nintendo
This is
versus
really
Sega.
good.
You know.
Yeah, this is a really good example that you just brought up. So it's kind of like Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko coming over from WCW into Monday Night.
Yeah. And don't forget Perry Saturn. Perry Saturn was part
Yes,
of that.
yes, thank you, Perry Saturn. Yeah, it's like, no, you were supposed to be WCW. If you want to be WCW, go to WCW. And then they came over. And I mind you, and this is what, not to go on a tangent, but Triple H even said said it to Chris Benoit. He's like, you were a big fish in a small pond. You're coming to the big leagues now. So it's kind of like
I know they said that over commentary during the match when Sting finally went to WWE and he was in the WrestleMania against Triple H.
Yeah.
They
he
said that on commentary basically, yeah.
No, he said it to them because it was Mick Foley brought them over. Anyways, but the point I'm trying to make is it's very much like Xbox. It's like, you know, you're coming in and you know, playing our games, and it's like, go get your own. We're the you know, the whale in the ocean. You're the minnow in the puddle.
But isn't it good though, Hitman, to be able to have people to experience your games even on other consoles that they may prefer?
No.
I if Nerdy Neo was here, I know that's exactly what he'd be saying in the chat.
No. Go buy the console.
He's right. No.
No. And it's not fair because there's nothing that PlayStation offers that I would want to play. But PlayStation wants to come over and play our games. Like, it's not, it's like it's very just one-sided. It only benefits the PlayStation peasants, and it does nothing for the Xbox. Really, I mean, listen, it's not my opinion. I'm just saying Destiny was trash. Destiny, I don't even know why they made Destiny 2. Spider-Man 2 was horrendous.
That was horrendous.
The only reason why I like God of War now is because Teal'c plays in God of War.
Oh yeah, Teal'c is the new voice actor for Kratos.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you think about it, exclusives are anti-inclusion, which is based.
I mean, I can't disagree with you.
So that's probably the way they did it. You know, they're probably trying to run the campaign of, you know, inclusion instead of exclusion.
See,
but I would much rather.
It's DEI. That's what giving every game to every console means.
You know, I think Ricky Bobby said it best. He's like, if you're not first, you're last. There is no trophies for second place.
He's right.
Well, and Xbox is doing all they can, at least for their side of things, to certainly try and stay in this whole console race, because like it is, as I heard, I believe.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. A console, joking aside, it doesn't matter if it's PlayStation or Xbox or like whatever. Like, let's be honest. When was the last? I've said this before. When was the last great game, enthralling game that didn't have anything to do with DEI, LMNOP, ESG that you played that was on a console, whether it be PlayStation or Xbox?
0.
There's got to be some, right? But like the point I'm trying to make is it's been a long time since a great quality game was created and released, where I didn't have to rely on batches every Saturday or every that's an exaggeration, but I didn't have to rely on a patch
it feels that
to
way,
fix
though.
the game, right? To fix
And
the game.
really, when you think about it, the obsessive need for inclusion is really just stifling creativity because, you know, exclusives came out on consoles, obviously not being inclusive, but they came out and created basically good stuff at a time. But this need for inclusion has basically watered down everything coming, since.
No, that's really. I mean, joking aside, that you're not wrong. And I wonder if they got rid of the exclusives, like like GameStop, right? I remember ordering. I pre-ordered the Max Payne. I pre-ordered, all the Gears of War stuff, and I wonder if they got rid of it. And this might sound stupid, if they got rid of the pre-orders or the exclusives because not everybody could afford it, or maybe not everybody wanted to do it. I don't know.
Well, I
That may
think
not make
because of
sense,
the
but
industry itself that it was people started holding back on pre-orders, perhaps if it's not quite the thing anymore
They
at
didn't.
GameStop.
I think they stopped incentivizing the pre-orders because it used to be back in the day where, when I pre-ordered Max Payne 2 or one the Max Payne games, I remember I got the statue, and it was a high quality statue, mind you. It wasn't like, just
I think that would have been Max
freaking
Payne 3.
yeah, it wasn't just Mattel plastic. Like it was a pretty, it wasn't hot toy quality, but it was a nice statue. I got the
Think
key
about
ring.
this too, that exclusives kind of, made the identity for a console.
Yeah.
So, without that, it becomes every console's the same. If there are no exclusives, then what's the point? Just buy a PC.
Well, what's
And
the point? But that's the point, right? That's a really good point. The whole in my mind, in my non PC gaming mind, right? You know what you're buying when you buy a PlayStation, or I'm sorry, you know what you're gonna get when you buy a PlayStation, and you know what you're gonna get when you buy an Xbox. And I'm not talking about sub quality, machinery on the PlayStation part. I'm talking about the games, right? The exclusives. If you want to buy a PlayStation, you're gonna be able to play Spider-Man. You're gonna be able to play God of War. You're gonna be able to play. Help me out, Fracture. What other games is PlayStation? What other games is
Uncharted,
PlayStation? Uncharted. These heavy hitting games. I
I
mean,
was about to
there's
say, when you buy a Nintendo, you know exactly what games you're getting.
exactly.
It's an identity. It's something meaningful.
But it's so
Xbox
funny.
meant Halo. Xbox
Right.
meant certain things. PlayStation meant Infamous at the time when they had it. Certain things. These things
Right.
meant things. But now it's called no one gives a crap about any of it.
No, but what's furthermore interesting is the fact that like PlayStation and Xbox has made it, they've made this deal to where you can play games on either side, but Nintendo is still staying firm on not sharing any of their IP. So, but again, I don't know how that would it's one thing to, I guess, go from I don't know, a Xbox game to PlayStation, and then you go from a Switch. I don't know if that would work, but Nintendo's not in the mix. They're not doing anything, and why would they? They're not going to share their. They're not going to do that because
I'll
they've got.
say Nintendo's kind of untouchable. They have their place, but
Right. But why is
consoles
that? Why is
did
that?
mean kind of an identity for each specific console, which was kind of the purpose of it at the start. So it's kind of like when you remove, exclusives, what's the identity of each console? What's the purpose of each console? They don't have any real purpose.
But that's the thing. Why is Nintendo standing their ground, but PlayStation and Xbox are not? It's just I
Well,
think what it is just
Nintendo knows that they have a ground that can't be, taken by anyone else. So they have the pretty much superior ground. They just can't be
got the monopoly.
unseated from it.
Yeah. No, but it's just a money grab, man, because I guess it's much easier to buy, this, back in the day maybe, but it's easier, what's easier if you have a PlayStation to go out and buy a $600 Xbox Series X to play Gears of War, Halo, or whatnot, or is it easy just to keep your $500 PlayStation console and just pay whatever whatever it is to play that game? Now I don't know if there's any type of like online thing you have to do, or you're paying monthly for them to be compatible. I don't know. It sounds like you can just, if you have an Xbox, you can just go and you can just play their games, and if you have a PlayStation, you can just go and play Microsoft games. I wouldn't be surprised if they charge like, oh, they make this to a subscription to where like you pay X amount of dollars a month and it's compatible on both ends. But it's just in my mind, it's a money grab, and it removes any pride that. So I think I don't know if that is what it was about, like PC gaming. If there's just the pride, like, hey, like I'm a PC gamer, I know I'm going to get quality, gaming, and there's a loyalty to it, right? In my mind, and as I was growing up, it was always a loyalty thing. I loved Microsoft. I thought Microsoft was far superior than PlayStation. I was just an Xbox guy, because that's, I guess, when you're exposed to something, that's kind of becomes, like Schuster says, kind of like your identity, right? You're an Xbox guy. But now it's like that it's all down the drain. Doesn't matter. It removes any type of identity. I don't want to say loyalty, but the console wars are now over. They've killed the console wars with this.
Well, they're certainly trying to, and
the console wars are dead. Long live the console wars.
With all joking aside, though, like let's all take a couple minutes each and just honestly just give your thoughts on this. Like, Chiefs, you're the guest. Like, why do you think they're doing this? Why do you think they have created this ability to play, to kind of share the games?
Well, I mean, really, it's probably just profitability. They want to get the most games they can on any given system. So instead of really having, like we've talked about, identity, between particular systems, it's called, we want to just kind of sell the Joy Box. We're selling the Joy Box. Don't buy a PC, get a Joy Box and play your games simple and easy. That's pretty much it.
So I guess Fractured, you go, and then I have a follow-up question.
I mean, I think Schuster laid it out
Just
pretty
wrapped it
well. I I can't add more than that.
So my question is, going forward with this, any and all games that are released now, will they both be compatible to Xbox and PlayStation? There will be no more you have to buy this console to play this game. Essentially, like Halo's for both, Gears of War's for both. Well, they haven't made a Wolfenstein in forever, but if Wolfenstein was still a thing, Wolfenstein would only, that wouldn't be a thing. Like, you can now just create. It's kind of like, like the Call of Duty games, the Modern Warfare. Both consoles can now play it. Which again is stupid, because it's like you remove the whole the inclusion thing, but it's like you're not. Now you're just leaving it up to the people to figure out what console they want. Like, at least if you have the exclude, like that's what's mind-boggling in my brain over here, because it's like when you had exclusives, then you had to decide what console you wanted, right?
Right.
In my mind, because back when I started playing Xbox, like, I don't think there were a lot of games that were compatible to both. If you wanted to play the games that we brought up, then you had to decide which console you wanted. Like, yeah, you can sit here and you can debate, processor and specs and all that kind of stuff. But at the root, for me personally, I wasn't worried about that. I was more worried about what games that I want to play, right? And so when now you go down this path of like, well, it doesn't matter. We've removed the inclusivity. Well, you're not giving the consumer. You're not incentivizing them to buy your console. So now it's just a 50-50 shot in the dark. And now you'll probably just follow the trends of the culture. Like, oh, I want to buy a PlayStation because it looks like a white binder upside down. Well, I want to buy a freaking Xbox because it's just a big black cube.
Well, and I think it goes back to Sheepster's point of why not just get a PC? Your PC can already get all of these marketplaces onto your computer if you want them.
Well,
Why go to
because
Xbox? Why go to, because I mean, on top of it, now the next thing is people are gonna weigh in on,
that's hard.
and this is gonna be the thing that I'm gonna wait to see if Valve does anything. Is that why would I go to PlayStation or Xbox, especially if I want to play multiplayer games? Why would I go to them when I have to then pay a subscription price just to go online, when instead I can invest in a very solid PC and play all of my games online for no other additional price other than what I pay for my internet service? And I think that's going to be another determining factor right there.
Because here's the thing, it's a lot cheaper to buy a $500 PlayStation console than building a $1,500 computer. Now,
Yeah,
again,
but then why would I then want to add on a $20 or a
that's the thing.
$59 for 3 months? Why would I want to do that every 3 months when all I'd have to rely on is my current internet connection and being able to play online as I see fit?
Twofold thing. One, you and Sheepster will have to explain this better because I don't know anything about building a computer. But the second thing I bring up, it's consumer knowledge. Do people know that? Do if you go out and talk to just a random Joe on the street, will that random Joe know that if you have a PC, you don't have to pay for? I didn't know that. I will say this: when I was talking to my boss at work, I figured that he was paying a monthly subscription to play online, and it turns out that he wasn't, because he had a PC. That's how. And again, I jokingly say this, but that's how like ignorant I was about PC gaming. I didn't know. I figured like if I'm paying
to alleviate some of that for you, it's not you're not stupid or anything like that. You're right. The common public does not often know about this, because I cannot count on both hands how many times I have informed people and been like, yeah, I'll say to people, like, I've gone the PC route because I don't have to worry about the subscription price and stuff like that. And they kind of go, oh, I didn't know that. They'll even give that, if they don't vocalize it, they give that look of like, oh shit, I didn't realize. So you're not wrong. Like, the general public isn't always quite up on that sort of current knowledge.
Right. So I guess that would be my argument, right? It's like, well, what's stopping them from just getting PC? I think it's a lack of knowledge. It's no different than you go to Shark, like the dumb example that pitch. You go to Shark, you watch Shark Tank. The entrepreneurs come in, they pitch the idea, and then you see Mark Cuban like, well, this is a decent idea, but like, it's going to take a lot of work to inform the consumer. Like, I shouldn't have to invest in a thing. Mark would say something along the lines of like, I'm out because it's a lot of work to inform the consumer about how this product works, right? So I think you can kind of act in it, maybe do that. Like, I wouldn't even know where to start building a computer, and so I think.
Oh, there's resources. There's some basic ones out there, and I understand your hesitance to it, because even I get sometimes a little nervous trying to put together some of these parts myself.
I think it comes down to a couple of different things, right? A couple of different points, and you guys tell me if you agree or disagree. I think the modern citizen is lazy. Yeah, they don't want to do the research to try to build something. They may not have the time to build it, and they just
it's correct, but they have the time.
They do,
and it's just lack of knowledge, or it's lack of awareness around it.
Well, it goes back to your other point of lack of research, wanting to, or just the laziness of it. They don't want to.
No.
And then to Timon's point, like he says, yes, console's main selling point is its plug and play ability. And that's what it used to be with consoles. That is plug, play, away you go. And that was the beauty of them. Now they're almost getting as complicated as PCs.
Well, that's where the center's in. It's not just the ease of it, it's status symbol. When they have a console, It's status symbol.
You're a part.
Even
You're a part.
even though it's stupid, you're a part of this group. It's the way to key into, hey, I've got this thing, I'm into it, and there you go. So
really, there's no excuse.
People fall for status symbols all the time.
I.e. iPhones and stuff,
Right. To kind of further touch on this, because I think this is a really great topic, and I'm enjoying this conversation. But there's really no excuse to be like, if you've removed the inclusion and the exclusivity of the games, there's really no excuse not to go to one or the other. Because okay, so dumb example, me for the longest time, I would not go the computer route because I didn't know how to use a keyboard. And I had played in the Call of Duty, and I'd be in the chat lobby, and I would get eviscerated by people that were PC gamers because they're playing on a keyboard. Now, were they really playing on a keyboard or a SCUF controller? Don't know. But I heard the clicking, I was out. Once I heard the, I was
hear the mechanical keyboards, yeah.
Right, but now, and tell me if I'm wrong, can you not hook up a SCUF controller to your PC and play it with a controller?
Didn't we look up those controllers before?
I think so, but can't you? So like, if you play a game on your PC, can you use an Xbox controller, or can you use a PlayStation?
Yeah. I can use I plug up directly a PlayStation 4 controller, and I use an Xbox Series whatever new controller. So yeah.
So there's really, to Sheepster's point, like, or to your point, it's like, well, why not go PC? There's really no excuse other than the lack of awareness that, like, if I had known years ago that I didn't have to pay $100 a year for Xbox the Gold membership, I would have just got a computer, because I'm saving. Like, well, but here's the caveat to this: depends on what internet you're purchasing, right? But that doesn't even really matter, because not only am I paying for internet, but I'm paying also the $100 a year to play online.
Right.
So I'm paying almost $250 monthly with internet, but then yearly. So I'm already paying $100+ a month for internet, plus the subscription. So it's really, if you think about it, like, that's a real shiestery move on Microsoft and PlayStation. It's like charging for water. This would be a dumb example, but it's like charging. That'd be kind of a stupid
like
example,
what California does to people.
Well, you're just what would be a good example? It's like, if you're already paying for something, they're going to charge you for something that you're already paying for, if that makes sense.
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's like, you're already paying for water, but they're going to charge you to turn the faucet on.
Right.
I don't know how to describe it, but when you think about it, it's like, that's really messed up. And let's be honest, internet nowadays costs way much more than it did, back when I had AOL.
Well, it depends on your internet provider. It depends on what kind of services you're going for with it, because I know ours has increased, A, by default, but also B, because I've picked the higher package deal, unlimited data, and just it's mainly now about the speeds. So it's like getting faster speeds is certainly, that's going to cost you more.
Now, I'm not gonna call computer gamers out, because I've always had this kind of misconception that PC gaming or PC gamers are no different like Xbox and PlayStation. You're within your own community, and you only care about your own community, right? But why is there such a lack of awareness? Like, if and it's not, the burden doesn't fall on
it's
PC
a perception.
gamers
It's a certain perception of PC side of it, especially for gaming.
Yeah, but how does
it's
it
looked at? It's looked at way too expensive. It's looked at way too complicated. Even though at this point the ability to build your own computer has gotten a lot easier to do, and while yes, it can be a bit of an investment, especially right now with the whole inflations and bullshit going on. Parts are, yes, a little more expensive, but you can still, look to a mid-range PC, and that thing will last you probably well longer than any console will. and the versatility is something that people sometimes just look at PCs as their office equipment, not as a, you know, basically multi-platform device. Like they look at it as a very simplistic device instead of going,
Who's at fault for this, right? So, and maybe nobody is, but the
no,
point I'm trying to make here is,
I don't
like,
think there's any like negative.
you don't
like,
think you don't
I
think
don't think there's like a
Microsoft,
propaganda sort of campaign out there, other than like maybe partly word of mouth and stuff like that. But like otherwise,
you don't think somebody's subverting, or not? That's not the right term. Not subverting, but like silencing the other side of it. And again, that's stupid because Microsoft makes computers.
right? I don't
Well, like,
think it has. I
why
don't think
would
it has to
you?
do with that. I think it was just for a time. There was a time PC was keeping gaming alive. That's the funny thing. When the console market originally crashed back in the 80s,
Oh, that'd be dependent on who you
the
ask.
PC side kept gaming on live support, and then on top of it, we had the arcades. But then once Nintendo came along, the consoles, they came back in such a big way, and they overshadowed the gaming marketplace. Because then you had Nintendo and Sega. Once Sega came along and had their console out there, so then it was, you know, all the fun stuff that we know of. Sega does what Nintendo don't, the original console wars and everything. So there was, and then eventually PlayStation and stuff. Like, it just grew to be such an insanely big industry that consoles were the focus. That was what all the game companies were developing to. Yeah, you still had some that were putting out games on PC. You know, we have our Valves and Ion Storms and stuff like that, like brought us like Deus Ex. We had the Max Paynes and stuff like that, are all originally on PC. They were eventually ported to console, but it's funny, like I did get some of those games and there was a big limitation on the console side versus the PC side. But again, like it was, people were kind of, and as you said it, Hitman, people get into their communities. They get into their own little kind of bubbles, and that's where they prefer to stay. And so then because of that, because they kind of stay in that zone, they don't look outward to what else is possible, and then they just go off of, again, they become so
enthralled in what they have or what they're a
yeah,
part. It's almost blind loyalty.
they become so tribalistic with it that they will defend their console to the death, and they will not hear any other positive or anything of the sort towards like towards like a PlayStation or to PC and stuff like that. It's just like it is for like my brother and I. We're just, I guess we're kind of weirdos because like we didn't quite have that mentality. We were like, we'll go to, you know, where we want. We had our fun with like going, you know, fuck Xbox for a time because it was just a fun meme to go off of. But like there was a little bit of animosity there because also I didn't get Halo. I didn't get why it was such a big deal when I had like, you know, other games that
it's such an amazing game. That's why it's such a big deal.
You're wrong because we were totally Sony drones.
That's crazy.
The good old
no,
Sony
but I also
ponies.
think it's but I think it's also a Sony pony. That would be accurate. But I think it's a blind loyalty thing. I think you said it best. It's like, and then when you try to defend, like if you grow up playing Xbox, and somebody, you know, your friend comes and talks to you about Sony and says, "Why are you an Xbox guy?" It doesn't matter what he said. It's kind of like moral relativism, right? It's like your reality becomes your truth, right? So whatever you believe, that's your truth. So it doesn't matter if Xbox is your truth and you know, you believe everything that, you know, if you believe it's the best, it doesn't matter who comes to you and tells you that it's not, because you're so. Does that make sense? It's just it's your truth. It becomes your reality. Your perception becomes your reality, right?
You're not wrong, absolutely.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if actually Xbox is subpar compared to PlayStation. You're not going to hear it, and it doesn't matter what evidence is brought to the table. So at this point in time, and it's you know, you need to play the clip. It's also boring and tiresome. Or and boring because it's like, so now not only do I have to decide what console I want. Now I
Hang
have
on.
to decide.
Hang on, let me play it. Here we go.
Must everything be boring and sad?
There we go.
Yeah. So it's like, so not only now do I have to decide what console I want to play because there's no incentivization between the two. Now I have to figure out what game I want to play with all the DEI and ESG and all this crap. And then I have to figure out, like, do I want to pay the money to play on? Like, it's just, it really comes to the point where it's like, I don't want to game anymore. I know it's easier said than done, but it really just, it's tiresome. It's sad and it's boring.
I think to get wrapped up in the gaming market, and especially trying to like look at it in the current status, yes, you're absolutely right. It is also sad and boring, and it really it can sap the energy out of you. I get that, but that's I think while I am very cynical and jaded towards the industry, and rightfully so, what definitely keeps my passion for it though is when I replay my favorite games, when I replay old stuff, when I go back and
That's the thing, though.
when I play the games
There's
that
only
don't suck ass,
right.
it's all like right in like it is. Yeah, it's a remaster, but I was enjoying doing that doing the stream of System Shock 2 remastered, and I'm looking forward to Chiefster and I playing it together because we never really did a lot of it, the multiplayer side back in the day. So I'm really looking forward to experiencing that completely. So it's just,
Yeah, but
and
here's the
I'm
thing.
looking for, and I'm now planning out my dark side playthrough for Knights of the Old Republic. So I'm going back to these old games is what keeps my passion for it, at least.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There you can only play these old games so many times, and not that you would ever get tired of it, but like that like you shouldn't have to rely on old games to keep the industry alive, because at some point in time, like, you're gonna play through all these old
Well, I'm not
games,
talking
and
about
then it
keeping the
just
industry alive. I'm talking about keeping my
but
passion
well,
for the
yes,
hobby
I'm sorry.
alive. Yes.
Yeah, that's what let me
And I
rephrase
shouldn't
my
have to
statement,
rely
not
on,
industry.
going into all. I shouldn't have to be buying slop just to keep an active
No,
participantship of it.
right.
It's
That's my
it goes
point,
both
though.
ways on
You
this.
yeah. The the point is that the industry should be the one helping those keep this passion alive, because without that passion, theoretically, they should not exist. In theory, right? But now we live in this culture where this generation, Zelta, whatever we're at, they'll just consume anything.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what it is, good, bad, what indifferent. They'll consume it. And so it's just here, and I don't know if you want to end on this, but talking about the Sony, Microsoft, the sharing, the gaming industry,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make this comment. I'm gonna sound like a real hypocrite because I really think Greg Bowser's a shyster, but I I I now know I'm now more I would just rather go Nintendo, and I'll tell you why. Because I know what I'm gonna get, and it's gonna be consistent, and there is like, I don't have to worry about any sharing or having to make any decisions. I've got the console, now I just have to decide what game I want. And
Right.
nobody's gonna get a piece of the pie.
And you at
Nintendo
least
will
kind of know
never.
you know what
Right.
to expect because, like you say,
You do.
there's consistency and
And
there's
it
a quality of work with what Nintendo
right.
does
And it
put out.
eliminates
In-house stuff.
right. This might be a subjective comment, but I think most people outside of work don't wanna make decisions. Dinner, I don't care, I just want food, you know? And when it comes to, like, gaming, it's like, I don't even wanna make a
I just
decision
want to
anymore. I
buy
don't
my
wanna
game and
d
put it into
I want
console and
yes.
play it. That's
Yes,
all I want.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that Nintendo has done this, whether it be their intention or not, because now it's like, well, I'm just gonna stick with Nintendo. I don't have to make any decision. I don't have to worry about, all this shenanigans with Xbox, PlayStation. I'm just gonna buy a Switch. I'm gonna pay you money, and I know what I'm gonna get. I think that in not that, like, if there was another competitor that Nintendo had, I'm not saying that I still don't think they would share their IP, right? But it makes it's just interesting that we're talking about this, and the more I think about it, it's just I want to take a nap, and I'd much rather just stay with Nintendo.
Right.
despite him being a shyster, because it's like, I don't have to worry about sharing it. I don't have to worry about it, they have exclusives, right? They're not going to
Right.
share it with anybody and whatnot. So I'm very curious to see if because you said this before, like the industry needs to just be, razed to the ground and rebuilt. But that's a
Yes.
really interesting question that we've never talked about that I can remember. Is like, why don't people just go more PC? Because there's no, like I said, and we can put it to bed. You are without excuse. There's nothing that you can do on a console that you can't do on a computer. But there are things that you can do on a computer that you cannot do on a console, i.e., mod. To my knowledge, maybe you can mod through Xbox. I don't know. I've never tried.
Only select games have made it available for mods on
Right.
consoles, so that's been mainly
Right.
Skyrim and Fallout.
Right. And you're spending more money up front, but you're saving $1,200 a year to play online if that's
Right.
your cup of tea. So you will pay for, let's say you're paying $100 for internet a month. So yeah, you're paying $1,000 a month if you have a computer versus $2,300 if you're a console gamer. That's all. I mean, if you think about that, and like I said, that's not exact math. I'm just doing. I'm an
No,
easy
I know
math
you.
guy.
Yeah.
But would you rather pay? Would you rather pay $1,000 a year or $2,200 a year? You're
Right.
paying literally $1,000 to use a lobby that a computer gamer, a PC gamer can use, and they're not paying that. It is quite literally racketeering.
Well, and to be a bit fair here, PC side of things did take a while before they got to the sort of things like Discord, to even for Steam for their chat lobbies and stuff like that, because once upon a time ago, we did have to rely on things like TeamSpeak and Ventrilo, all of which you did have to pay a service to use voice chat and stuff like that. It just
PC,
took
you
us a
mean?
time, yeah, for PC. So it did take us time, but we did eventually we're now at that point where, yeah, we can just use a thing like Discord or use a thing like Steam Chat to just talk to our friends, and we don't have to pay an extra fee. So maybe consoles are just trying to work their way to that. Who knows? I doubt it. But I'm just being fair here. We had our trials and tribulations as well.
Yeah, but still, that's
No, yeah.
I'm
No,
just awestruck, man. I've never done the math before. And for what? What are you getting on a? What are you, like? That's really shystery, man. Because you're not getting anything more
No.
other than you're actually getting less. You're getting $1,200 less. That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But you would think the computer industry, that you would think that, like, and I don't know how it works, man. Like, the face behind PC gaming, you would think that you would try to incentivize people to leave the console. You'd want the console industry to die. Maybe not because competition's healthy, but in a sense,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. That's just people are. I guess, and maybe not. And maybe they're not. The PC side of it's not worried because everybody, essentially either needs or will have a computer. For if you have a job in some type of capacity, you're gonna have a computer, right? So it's not like, oh well, we need these gamers to buy PC so our industry will survive. No, it's like they're double dipping, if you will, because not only do they have people that buy their computers for jobs, but there's also people that are buying computers to play games. So it's not like they need one over the other to survive. They're doing just fine. So maybe in theory they don't need to push people to come over to PC gaming because they're sitting okay financially.
Oh yeah. And one of the other things that has kind of the part, because you were asking like what it is that why people don't get into PC gaming and stuff like that. The other troubles and trials, tribulations, all that sort of stuff when it comes to PC gaming is that there is the unknown factor of will this game play on my system or not? With a console, you're guaranteed it's gonna play. Will it be not buggy or anything? Well, that depends on the developer's side. But when it comes to PC gaming, because you are including so many different parts, and again, it does depend on the developer. If they actually do their job to optimize the game and stuff, it can work just fine. But there have been in the past games that didn't work out the box. Sometimes the ports are bad. Again, that's on the developer side, but it did create a bit of a stigma when it came to PC gaming.
Or you gotta get a freaking you download this game and it's from a Chinese gaming and it's a Trojan horse.
Or do I have a graphics card that is up to date to being able to run it? Do I meet the system requirements to play these games? And that sort of stuff. Well, again, when it came to consoles, it was just been to like what Timon pointed out, plug and play.
Put it in play. Plug and play. You know, essentially. That's the one thing that I if I have anything against the PC gamers or the PC realm of stuff, it's the graphics card. Man, those things are expensive and they only last 5 years, 4 years. I don't know how long they last. I was told 7. There's a new one that comes out every 7 years.
I had one that I think I had one that lasted like 10 to 11. Because I got use out of it, and I wasn't always playing the newest of the new games, so that helped too. But
yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if we're entering an age to where they start lessening the time that the graphics card survives.
Well, they already are trying to, like, we've been having there's been like year after year a new graphics card coming out, and they keep trying to push people to these cards, so it's there. It's just I think also. The PC side of things, people are much more stubborn to move to go to these new cards because they also are patient, willing to wait and see the specs, see if it actually works out, et cetera, et cetera. So
$1,000 or $2,200. I remember there's
some of the graphic cards that I've seen on the market are ridiculously expensive. Yes. So
I don't know, M.20. I don't know, whatever the graphics card that came out during COVID 2020, whatever it was.
Well, that was also
like
adding
over
on
1,000.
external factors of shipping and stuff like that, how for export, import, and all that sort of crap.
Yeah.
So,
still,
no,
$1,000.
you're not wrong.
$2,000 is a lot. I mean, that's double. Well, not double. Over double your computer. Well, I mean, if your computer's 1,000, you're paying. It's like a scope and a rifle, right? Let's say you pay $1,000 for your rifle. And then to get a really good scope like Leupold or Vortex, you're going to be paying $1,500. So you literally you just paid $500 more. Well, no, essentially you're paying double what your rifle was. No, is that not right? You're paid $1,000 for your rifle, and then you're paying $1,500 for a scope.
Jeez.
No, but that's when I action it to that. It's like you pay $1,000 for your computer, and then you're paying $1,500 for a graphics card. That's crazy. But if the thing lasts for 10 years, and I mean, that's not, I guess, a terrible price.
Well, yeah, especially if you aren't looking to upgrade like immediately. So
no, but there's this. But for me though, there used to be this. I have a cell phone, iPhone, which is the only cell phone out there. I mean, you can have an Android, but if you want a cell phone, you have iPhone. But I used to upgrade every year. Not every year. Every time. Well, yeah, every time the new iPhone came out. I would upgrade, and there was this want and this need to have the
newest of the new.
Yeah, I think, and whether that plays a part here or not, I don't know. But I think I can attest that I had this, but it wasn't just iPhone. I mean, it was you could hack it into everything. Oh, I need the newest AirPods, or I need the newest iPhone, or I need the newest this or the newest that. All right, there's a stigma that like I want the newest and the best. And I want it now. It's like, well, that's why J.G. Wentworth, their commercial was so impactful, and you can still remember it to this day. It's like J.G. Wentworth, call was it 577 cash now? It's like it's my money and I want it now.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. it's my graphics card and I want it now.
Right.
It's my cooling pad, and I want it now, or it's my liquid, whatever it is. So financially, that would be interesting. That would be a conversation for a later time. But yeah, I think to kind of wrap it up, it's not. There's really no reason not to go PC.
Chiefster, do you have anything you want to add to put a final button on all this?
Yeah, obviously go PC. Otherwise, you're an idiot. Don't buy consoles. You're retarded. And pirate any game you see. There you go.
Well, there you have it.
That embodies everything fractured. What you just said. I mean, that if I took what you said and drew a picture, I would draw fractured.
You'd be looking at a picture of me and Fractured and be saying, "This is the same picture."
It would. That's what Fractured says all the time. He's like, go PC. If you play consoles, you're an imbecile, and go to the seas for everything. Because Captain Jack Sparrow never fails.
Man,
Well,
that Fractured guy, he is so smart. He's the smartest guy. I love him. He has things mostly correct,
Mostly.
especially when he listens to me.
I will say this: you got to be careful. Though. The Chinese version of Jack Sparrow will fail you, but the true Jack Sparrow will not. You might get a Trojan horse from the Chinese Jack Sparrow.
And there you have it. Let me go back through some chat really quick here.
Where's Dirty Negan?
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a hot minute. Timon had said Xbox might be back on the map because of the access to Steam. That was what we were certainly discussing. Melissa Lord said, I built my computer and pay for internet. That's it. But I play whatever I want. And I learned how to build PCs in '97. It's not hard, Hitman. There's a YouTube video. There's that. There's the and I hate, it's like you'd hate to point people towards Reddit, but there is the PC Master Race board there that has a little community that's willing to help you out for that sort of stuff and give you different builds and in different price points and stuff like that you can look at for sure. If you were building, I do tip my hat to building PCs in '97 because I remember having a computer repair class in 2003, and I still thought that shit was complicated at times. I think what I usually get scared about is certainly like applying the thermal paste and stuff like that to the CPU. That part always makes me really, really nervous. And otherwise, like for most of the other stuff, it's usually I'm not too worried about, but also I have gigantic hands, so it makes it tough getting into certain cases for sure. And so like the most I like doing is just for being able to replace a video card, and then I'm a happy camper. Black Pill Timon says, I used a PS5 controller and an 8-bit dough. I've looked at the 8-bit dough controllers. The one that I've been really interested in has been the one that looks like a Super Nintendo controller. But my problem is I don't know the actual size of the controller. Because I could have sworn I saw one from somebody and it looks small. And again, massive Wookiee hands here. And I need a controller that fits well in my hands. And so far, it is either like the PS4 controller or the Xbox controllers that just feel nice for me.
Wookiee feet.
Wookiee feet. Timon then said, Internet is actually cheaper now. We have 300 megabits a second for the price we used to pay for 10, at least for him. He puts the dark side playthrough DSP ? No, not DSP. And hello, Oscar Frederick Welsh saying, "Be careful." What do we have to be careful about? What do we do?
I was about to say, with the dark side playthrough, you're not DSP. You're always the most powerful.
Yeah. Goddamn right.
It's being light side that's hard.
It is. Nightmare saying the 4090 was the last good GPU. 50 series dropped 32-bit physics, so even NVIDIA cards will run a lot of old games poorly. Ouch. Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of positivity towards the 50 series, so if I was gonna upgrade, I might look at the 4090s or anything like that. I need to look into it for my brother's computer.
I was about to say, isn't every new graphics card kind of trash?
To certain varying degrees. Hello, Greg Hates Everything. How are you, sir? Saying, if you can use Duplo blocks, you can build a PC. PC Master Race! Jorge Lucas, hello. How are you doing? Saying, PC is no longer for elitists. Everyone should go PC. 110%, brother. Greg says, and do not pay gimmick YouTube sponsor PC builders. Better value in wiping your ass with the bills you save. Damn. Not wrong, but damn. Picking the parts is the hardest, scariest piece of it. Assembly is easy. Like I said, I always got nervous with the thermal paste. Like, that's what kind of makes me, Greg says, always scared to pull the trigger on a part, wondering if the next best thing will come out and undercut the price you just paid. Yeah. I think I experienced that when I picked up the 2080 Ti. And then I think the new line after that came along and significantly decreased the price. I was like, motherfucker. Greg says, that is why picking out a good case is so important. Airflow, cable management, and ease of assembly make a huge difference. Yeah, and then the thing, like, the bitch of it, though, was, like, we were, like, sometimes traveling with our PCs quite a bit, and holy crap, I had picked a big lunker, and I should have picked something that at least would have been light. Big, but light. But otherwise, you make do. Star Wars Marvel Pure saying, I think Greg should build me a computer. I'll have Iron Shark steal all the parts. There you go. Timon says, I don't recommend the 8-bit though. I had to troubleshoot it a lot. Their support is shit. Well, that's good to know. And then it says, I'm looking into a QRD Spark N5 controller, no drifting. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds interesting. Greg says, I hate plugging in the case switches to the motherboard. Always a pain in the ass. That too. Yeah. At least nowadays, if you're not getting like any kind of Blu-ray or CD drives, makes it a little bit still a little easier to get around plugging everything up, but when you start adding extra components, it starts messing with me. Yeah, Melissa Lord points out, right, Greg, those tiny jumper plugs suck. Well, I was not expecting to get into such a conversation about that.
But it was fun.
It was. I enjoyed it very much. It's always the little things that the little articles that it'll just manage to expand upon is always fun. Okay. Well, what to go? Now Greg's saying Asus made a really good plug-in for it at one time. Great innovation. Asus has done a lot of interesting stuff. Like, I remember them being the first ones with the portable mini computers, and especially then had it where you'd get the SIM card to take it on to have them on the go and stuff like that. They were kind of like the leading brand for those little mini laptops. Oh God, oh no. Greg's asking, so what you guys buying on the Steam summer sale? Ah, yes, the mighty Steam summer. Yeah, the Steam summer sale dropped on Thursday. I've certainly been eyeing things here and there, but I'm trying not to right now. Wanting to save money and stuff like that, but I've been keeping an eye out. Were you gonna say anything, Chiefster?
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say I bought the Last Stand Aftermath, which was on sale for very cheap, and what was that? My Time at Sandrock, very cheap. So that's the two summer sales I spent money on.
Oh, the kind of sequel game to My Time at Portia.
Yeah, I've been interested in it a while, and every time I tried to seal it, it did not install correctly. So I was kind of like, okay, fine, maybe I'll actually buy it. And I like My Time at Portia. I'm into that sort of autistic building things, simulator thing. So
With light combat and stuff like that too.
yeah, it's my kind of game, so I bought it. And Last Stand, I stole that a long time ago, and it was really good for a simple game. It's a zombie shoot, go through what do they call it, roguelikes or whatever.
Oh,
that's kind of what it is, but it was fun. So I was like, okay, sure, it's super cheap, I'll buy it. That's my summer sale contribution.
So yeah, Last Stand, here it is. Last Stand is a tactical defense game? No, this isn't it, is it?
Last Stand Aftermath.
Oh. Sorry, my bad. Hang on. There we are. Oh, okay.
I'm kind of waiting for Ross to review it, but yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, because this is by Con Artist Games. I thought that.
Yep.
I thought this sounded familiar.
Yeah. He reviewed the earlier ones, and this is kind of like the latest iteration of them.
Well, at least it's not a mobile browser game like they did.
No, it's much better. And like I said, I've played it already, so it's kind of like, it's enjoyable. Fighting zombies. My main survivor who basically solved the zombie apocalypse was named Chad. So I was like, yeah, golden. Sure, Chad lived and he solved the zombie apocalypse. Perfect.
There you go.
And of course, I got the new System Shock anniversary remaster.
Right,
that wasn't on sale, but
yeah, unfortunately, it wasn't on sale. But
yeah,
we have plans. We're gonna do
the
player for that. So
we'll have to turn it up to like high difficulty.
I said that during my stream that we would probably have to go on a harder difficulty so we can make it challenging.
I was about to say you will suffer, but at the same time, it'll be beautiful because I kind of know the game.
Yeah. I've been looking at stuff, but I'm just I'm not sure what I want to pull the trigger on just yet. I have stuff in my wish list that I was gonna try to. I think you need to mute me, Sheepster. I keep echoing off of you. Or turn your microphone more away from me. But yeah, like I've thought about going through my wish list, and then it's like going from like the cheapest games and maybe grabbing from there and going down and stopping at a certain point. I do want to check out this RoboCop Rogue City though. I've heard it's really good. It's $4.99 right now, 90% off. Like holy shit! But I've heard it's good.
Yeah, I've seen plays of that game, and if you're looking for the RoboCop thing, that's good. So yeah, it's not a bad buy.
So I saw the Red Dead Redemption remaster or whatever for $29. I think that needs to be cheaper.
Free.
Nightmare here. It said all I've bought so far is slop to send to Melee games. Ah, yes, bring him more pain.
Yes, I need to find the most recent Hitler anime hentai game to send to Fractured. Perfect.
Oh no. Oh no. Greg says I'm tempted to pick up Red Dead 2 for $15, though it goes against my principle to support titles that don't that don't day one launch on PC with the version of the for the baby toys consoles. I'm also tempted to support the super evil company and pick up Oblivion remaster.
9.
I checked it out through Game Pass, and because they're using the Unreal Engine, like the environments and stuff like that look like they're in that preload phase that will sometimes happen with the Unreal Engine. Like if you enter an area too quickly, like the textures don't load immediately, so a lot of it looks very washed out and like not as detailed. So
Well, that's Bethesda, so.
Yeah, go figure.
But I'm gonna say they change a lot of voice lines from NPCs in that game, so they automatically kind of ruin the flavor of the weird Oblivion autistic experience by changing voices. They have changed a lot of voices. A lot of voices aren't what they were from before. It's not one-to-one match, and yeah, it's kind of cheap and bad and not good. So don't buy it and only exploit it.
How can you? There you go. And then Greg said, I would have bought it already if they called it the As is a Retard Spaz Pronoun Edition. Oh, there you go. That day one pickup right there. Nightmare says Oblivion Remaster is an unholy mix of Gamebryo and Unreal. I don't know what a Gamebryo is.
Not wrong.
Huh?
Game engine.
Oh, gotcha.
Gamebryo is like I think the original engine it was based off of, but obviously now it's being this unholy copulation of Unreal and Gamebryo. So it's like, well, here, look what you got. Play Oblivion. Just do that. It's just as good. It hasn't really improved. I played it. Trust me, it wasn't that great. The remaster is not great. I already stopped playing it.
Yeah,
I'd probably just rather start playing Oblivion again and mod it.
Yeah, I was choosing between playing it and Doom, and apparently Doom won out, and I played through that more than I played the Oblivion remaster.
I'm so sorry.
Trust me, I am too.
Play Eternal though. Eternal's not great, not bad.
Hey, did you play any Doom?
Doom: The Dark Ages? Yeah, I played it.
Like it, not like it.
Nah. Like some of the gameplay mechanics are fine, but it just feels so meh. Especially the music. Like the music that felt like such a core part of the previous two games is just background. It is entirely background. I barely noticed it half the time. And then the story is complete shit. Nightmare was saying Gamebryo is the original engine Bethesda uses. They call it Creation Engine now. That's might have been why I was confused. And it says, but they mixed Unreal into it this time, so the unholy abomination of all Darkspawn. There we go. And it said, I still like Eternal over Dark Ages. Honestly, I could see, like I need to go. I'll have to go back and play through like Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be in that same boat. I think I'll probably still like the original Doom 2016 a little more, but yeah. Greg says
Doom Eternal is good once you play it right, sadly.
Sadly, yes. Greg says, I don't think I have time to get sucked into a Bethesda game, and if it doesn't suck me in, then it's not worth the price. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait, Bethesda games suck people in?
Oh, come on. We've wasted our plenty, well, not plenty, but tons of time in like in Skyrim, in Oblivion, hell, in Morrowind as well. But you know, they are time sinks, that's for sure.
Only when the story was made by drug addicts.
Which one specifically?
Morrowind, of course. Don't you remember that? The story was historically created by someone doing some sort of mind-altering drug or whatnot.
No, I don't.
Yeah, the whole idea of Chim and all that stuff.
You meant in the in-game lore
Yeah,
for
Morrowind.
it. Okay.
Yeah, in the Morrowind game lore and whatnot.
So Linux is a game. Isn't there like what other PC consoles out there? Well, I'm sorry, not consoles. PC that friends are known for gaming. There's Linux, Asus.
So
Is
wait,
Levana?
whoa. Linux is an operating system basically. So the different platforms like developers. Oh, echo again.
Yeah.
We're still getting an echo. Oh, there it goes. So Asus, HP, companies like that, but yeah, Linux is an operating system much like Windows and much like Mac OS. Oh, but Linux is meant to be much more open and free and customizable and stuff like that. It just requires a little more tinkering to get running sometimes than the others.
That makes sense. I thought Linux was there's a computer that starts with an L. I almost say
Yeah,
Lenovo.
Lenovo or
Yes.
whatever.
Did they have a game? Do they do gaming computers or no?
I haven't looked into them, so I don't know. Sorry, sir.
Stay away from Alienware. Stay away from Alienware.
Once upon a time, before I knew a whole lot, yes, I did go to Alienware back in. Oh, that was probably 2005, 2006, I want to say.
What a year! What a year to be alive. Where Fractured goes and buys an Alienware.
That was like my first real gaming PC too, yeah.
Just stick with Razer.
Yeah,
Anything
Nightmare.
Razer.
Lenovo has a Steam Deck competitor, I think. So does Asus. They also do have their own Steam Deck competitors as well. And then he also said Linux is a kernel technically. Listen, I'm trying to keep things somewhat simple, even for myself and for Hitman here, because there's a lot of jargon that goes into the Linux stuff.
Why?
Greg says, yeah, I think I sunk 700 hours into Skyrim thanks to big, huge titty mods. Well, that's what gets us all. That gets everybody. Jorge Lucas is saying, I got to make the shift to Linux, not using Windows 11. Yeah, neither am I. I'm trying to avoid Windows 11 at all costs. And it's gonna come down to it. I'm gonna have to eventually make that switch. But I need to make sure that certain software works on it, and I'll probably be bugging my buddy Static a lot for tips and tricks and what have you. This. Craig says my first gaming PC was a Texas Instrument TI 994A with an audio tape recorder for an external storage. Interesting. Okay.
Why did you say, or whoever said Linux was a kernel?
That was Nightmare that said that.
What does that mean? Am I missing something?
Like I said, to keep it even simple for myself because I'm still learning a lot of the little terms and stuff like that. So just going off of the AI overview, Linux kernel is a core component of the Linux operating system, acting as a bridge between hardware and software. Hopefully we. So Nightmare says the kernel is a specific piece of software at the core of an operating system, and that. So yeah. And then he also had said Bethesda makes ugly women. You have to mod. You have to mod them. Yes. This is true. Melissa Lord says, I also had a PC with an external tape drive. Melissa Lord filled in also, kernel is the core of the OS. It's what runs Windows. And Greg, it's the brain of the operating system. There we go. So we got 3 different ways of explaining it.
Yeah, the kernel that confuses me. Is it a full bird kernel? Or like a Hammond Bush kernel? Oh, he was a general. Like Jack O'Neill kernel?
Not that kind of kernel.
Like Colonel Sanders?
You know what? Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Very confusing why you would call an operating system a kernel. And was Colonel Sanders in the military? The last time I checked, he was just all dressed up in white and a black little tie, making delicious chicken.
Very delicious. Nightmare says Windows kernel is called NT, in quotes. Greg says, I used to play Sid Meier's Pirates. Dude, I played that game. On my C64 until you could fry an egg on my 5.25 floppy drive. Dude. Nightmare says popcorn kernel. Does that work better?
No. We need to go back to the days of using floppy disks, floppy drives.
No, we don't.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
No.
You know how many games I used to play on my floppy drive? I used to play Monkey's Island.
The problem was that they were notorious though for damages and stuff.
Yeah, but that's why you could buy literally a pack of 50 for $2.99.
Just make copies of your games and stuff.
Absolutely. Did you not? I used to. I also used to buy when CDs became a thing. I used to buy a bunch of CDs and I would just make the same CD over and over again because I was afraid that I would either scratch it or just play it till it broke.
I believe that. I do.
Mhm.
And Greg is in the no camp. He says, no, thank you. So you might be a bit alone on the floppy drive thing, sir. Just a bit.
I think it's fantastic. And you would put it in, and then there's nothing more satisfying than put it in and hearing the click.
Yeah, Melissa Lawler says if you knew how floppy drives worked, you would disagree. Nightmare saying floppy disks could barely hold anything. That's the other thing. Their data. There was the they basically had like a like a higher capacity floppy drives that they were. I forgot what they were called though. But a buddy of mine, he had those, and they were like basically cartridges themselves. Greg says, I want to play a game. Okay, please install disk 7 of 22 while your disk drive reads it so slow you'd think it was pronouncing the ones and zeros out loud. Yeah, I do not miss the days of multi-disc installations. it's funny because like when I'll install some old games now, it'll run through and I'll have to do the ISO image, and I'll have to replace each disc. But it goes really fast. But like, man, that was always a pisser to reinstall some old games in the day, and you have to disc 1, disc 2, disc 3. Damn Blackroid. Zip drives. That was it. The zip drives. Melissa Lord says, I remember those days. 10 5.25 discs for the original TIE Fighter. Nightmare says, I remember that there were 2 sizes, 3.5 and 5s. Yep. Timon says, EM tapes are still the best way to store data. No energy required, though highly flammable. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Don't want that.
I don't know if I've ever set them on fire. Probably, maybe.
Tapes? Why would you be setting tapes on fire?
No, floppy disks.
Oh,
Floppy
no.
drive.
Again, like Melissa Lord says, when you know how they run and everything, it's like, no. Greg says 3.5 was a revolution. 1.44 megabits of space. Look up how big your thumbnail for this stream. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Again, those are days I do not miss. Yeah. Hello, Brandon Tran. How's it going, sir? Saying hello, Fractured Filter and Jay Hitman. Hope you're all having a good one. Sorry, I'm late to the party. Hey, no problem. Better late than never, brother. Nightmare says floppy disks used a similar material to tape, I think, and they had like a weird magnetic strip in there. Yeah, Melissa Lord saying floppies were magnetic tape disc things, and they were notorious for running out. It's either like part of the whole magnetic strip thing would cause problems, or I forget exactly what it was, but yeah, they could crap out much quicker than your CDs could do. So okay, so shall we go into we spent so much time with the conversation of the game of the Xbox, Microsoft, and stuff like that. Should we get into the get into the last segment, or should we go into another little segment before we get into that, Hitman? What do you think? Hitman, are you there? Hitman has stepped away for the moment.
Wake up!
Okay. Greg says, if I could go back in time to the 80s, I'd look up some popular video game developers and go tell them that in 40 years, games would be 50 plus gigabytes. Jesus Christ, their heads will explode. Melissa says, I tested it once with a kitchen magnet. It erased everything. Yeah. That's shit like that would happen. Greg saying he didn't even wait for the video to start before faking an audio loss this week. And now with my brother's here, so now you really can't fake the audio. If I was gonna silence, it'd be the whole Discord. So Dan Blackbird says Hitman is watching Thunderbolts. Oh,
Yeah, something better to watch.
Better than
he's prepping for the next season of Andor.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
He's totally hyped for Ahsoka season 2.
Yes, season 2. He's all about the season 2 Ahsoka.
Is that happening?
Probably.
No.
That got him back. Are you back?
So yeah, let's talk about how excited you are for Ahsoka season 2.
No, I needed to burn.
Let's talk about how excited you are for Andor season 2.
Did Lupin die?
you, you've been the one wanting him back.
Who? No, I want Luthen. I want it all to
No,
burn.
no, Sheevster back.
No.
I'm just asking honest questions here. I'm curious. I know how much you love this stuff, so I just want to hear it.
I'd rather watch Hammond's Bush
As would we all.
than Andor too. No, because okay, since you're here,
But Andor season 2 has been one of the most impressive series of Star Wars that's ever been broadcast, so I hear.
according to who, Rikishi?
Or Kishi. According to the very wise journalists we all listen and love and all that stuff.
The journalists that love every type of pie there is.
I love pie, so I guess I agree with them.
All flavors of pie.
Maybe not key lime, but other than that, yeah, pretty much.
Why not key lime?
I actually kind of like key lime though, so sorry,
Low key
I lied.
or high key? Low key or high key?
Low key or high key? What's that?
Yeah, low key or high key for kiwi.
Evan.
Kiwi, tacky
Oh,
kind of pie. Tacky
yeah.
pie.
I like kiwi.
Yeah.
Kiwi's good.
Key lime.
But let's talk about Andor and how much you
about
love Andor.
How about
I know
let's
you
talk about
do.
Starfield.
Darkfield?
Starfield.
Starfield. Oh, Starfield. You know, there's some really impressive mods coming out for that. I don't know. The game's really looking up. I think we should all buy it right now. It really works. So it's on sale. You know, buy it up right now.
Problem I have with Andor, and by problem I mean multiple problems, is still didn't find his sister, and we got a quasi lazy answer to that by His Majesty Tony Gilroy. And the credits. Where the credits go? Nobody knows. They just, I guess, were there and vanished.
Well, don't worry. It's not a plot hole or anything. So we're
It
completely
is a plot
wrong.
hole. It is a plot hole.
You should
You're gonna tell me
you should read the comments on the and when we discussed the Tony Gilroy video. You should see the comments in that thing. We're apparently wrong, and it's not a plot hole.
Who said that who said it's not a plot hole? Carl RNG?
No, I said the comments on the video when I clipped out that segment.
I thought you meant people were commenting like to us on the video.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, or they say who? I don't have. No, I don't have time. I don't have time to listen to.
Well, I've told you to look at the comments on our videos sometimes,
No,
but you
because
choose
Pothead
not to.
Harry's on there, and I don't want to deal with Pothead Harry.
No, that's on Wormhole Watch. Harry Pothead is commenting about you and your evil bigoted ways against Bajorans.
First of all, I don't think he knows how to even spell the word bigot. And two, I wouldn't be surprised if he's just a troll that lives under a bridge. The silence is overwhelming.
I'm thinking, are we going to move on to something more interesting? I'm kind of getting bored here.
Yeah, so am I with Andor.
Well, I was trying to ask you what next segment, but you suddenly vanished.
Well, let me see. Do we want to do the lightsaber thing?
Considering we spent so much time on on the whole Xbox thing.
Probably not.
Yeah, it
Probably
might not
not.
be a bad idea. Here, let me just clear
Do
out
you
some of
wa-
the comments
Do
really
you
quick.
want to, or you want to wait until next week to do it?
No, we'll do the lightsaber after this. After I get to some of the comments. Brandon Trent says, oh, good. Don't know if you look into big news, but am I still hearing myself? Oh, it's because of my brother's microphone. Brandon Trent says, I don't know if you look into big news, but did you see that Mission Impossible Final Reckoning director Chris McQuarrie revealed his plans for Man of Steel 2 and Tom Cruise as Green Lantern on a podcast? No, I have not. Can't say I care. Yeah, sorry, dude. The whole, like it is, the whole cape shit stuff is kind of wearing thin. Melissa Lord asks Rikishi, so the wrestler, the dude that would rub his ass in people's faces, the stink face, that Rikishi?
Stink face, Rikishi.
Okay. Dan Blackbird said Loki season 2 had a great key lime pie. Brandon Tran says, normally I don't talk about scrapped DC movie plans, but the fact WB decided to make The Flash, Black Adam, Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, and Batgirl over Chris McQuarrie's Man of Steel is beyond me. Wait, but no. They canceled Batgirl, didn't they? They like completely scrapped that shit. Didn't he? Hasn't one time they made it that something did not see the light of day, when they probably should have done that with the Flash movie. Greg says, Andor is literally the most perfect series ever made. No joke. Andor is exactly what people who watch Andor deserve. Exactly. Nightmare says, Starfield was painfully boring. I played the entire main game. I think my brother got through a lot of that. Did you get through a lot of it, Schuster?
Yeah, I beat the game. It's completely holy and completely worthless. It's not worth playing. I wouldn't even recommend you steal it.
There you go. Dan Blackrist says, a fantastic example of great television. Loki saved us all. His sacrifice will be forever. Greg says, no series sacrifice will ever be as great as Wade in the Kenobi series. R.I.P. Wade, hero of the rebellion. That's right. Melissa Lord also paying respects to Wade. We will remember. Greg says, I think Nana Visitor was a troll that lived under a bridge before she was cast as a Bajoran. Damn.
I like that. Who said that? I like
that was
that
Greg.
comment.
That was Greg.
Greg.
Hitman is gonna try and remember. Hitman will try and remember that comment and then completely butcher it when he rephrases it on Wormhole Watch.
I'm going to send an invitation to Greg tomorrow for Wormhole Watch because I'm tired of having now 3.5 pro Bajoran. I don't even know what else to say other than just have to fight off a pack of wolves.
I have not put a foot in any camp. Okay,
that's crazy.
I've avoided those job fairs of yours and stuff like that, and I have avoided any pro Bajoran bullshit. The only thing I was all for was yes, the Bajorans should make the planet for themselves as they damn well please, but otherwise, hey, if they can't keep their planet, they deserve to lose it.
They're competent enough to keep it. They were living in carved out rocks.
Greg says they scrapped it, or they made it and then scrapped it. Right. Nightmare said Batgirl was fully made, but then shelved. It's crazy what they end up doing, man. All right. So now what we're going to be going into is Hitman here seemed to have done a little looking around, a little looky-looing. But I guess first we should start with that first link you dropped in the Discord. for this item, sir? You can see it in Discord right now.
Play the clip first. Play the video first. That'll make more sense.
What video?
We're doomed.
However you want to do it, because they tie it into each other. But
Which video?
the video I put, the George Lucas video.
Oh,
Ian McDiarmid.
Okay.
You can
I'll
just
get
play like the first like 20 seconds of it.
Okay. Hang on, let me get that. I didn't know the video was part of all of this.
Oh yes, it is.
Okay. I was gonna say it's a 7-minute video, sir, but you said only
Yeah,
play.
the first 20 seconds.
Okay. And you can see it in Discord. Yes, you can. Let me make sure the chat will be able to hear it. Hopefully this week, no audio issues. You just tell me when to stop it, sir, okay?
Yes.
Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
You'd be very strange, but
So I guess that is
Good.
very... Huh?
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
indeed, if you didn't
Okay.
know, I played Darth Sidious and also Palpatine.
How dare you
Of course,
interrupt?
I never admitted it.
I'm sorry.
And George never admitted
I didn't mean to
it.
interrupt
I'm straight.
Palpatine.
Palpatine represents the devil. He represents the pure evil, the Dark Lord of the Sith, who.
How
is
dare you,
pure
Replay
George?
that.
to get
Okay,
more power
replay
and-
that piece. You heard him say that he represented the what?
Palpatine represents the devil. He represents
The devil.
pure
Okay.
evil, the Dark
Go to the series saber.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to argue with the author here. Sheev obviously is the good guy, did nothing wrong, was just trying to build a strong, stable, and safe empire. So calling him Satan, I don't know. Sounds like a Muslim.
Okay, so now we're going to go over here to the theory sabers.
So this is Palpatine's lightsaber.
Right.
Look at the price.
$666.66. That's a lot of sixes, sir.
Never mind, George was right. What the hell is this shit?
I said this to my brother. I looked it up, and yeah, he got the prices 666, which is the mark of the technically mark of the beast, but represents Satan. So I don't know if this was a I don't know if theory is. I don't think he follows any religion that I know of. He's not publicly stated, I don't think, but I think I just find it very interesting that Lucas, obviously described Palpatine as the devil. He makes his lightsaber, which honestly is the most beautiful, not theory saber, but Palpatine's lightsaber is one of the most beautiful lightsabers I've ever seen. But he has the price tag of 666. But you also have to throw, the 66 cents in there.
Well, the 66 cents, order 66. You get it?
Dare. I didn't even think about order 66. But yeah.
All right,
That
I'm
was-
back on board. You're right. Order 66, the 66 lightsaber. Perfect. I'm buying it right now.
So this was kind of a twofold thing. I originally put it in there because I thought it was just interesting that he puts this hellacious price tag on this lightsaber, but the price
Right.
tag is 666, which George himself obviously had stated that that's what Palpatine kind of represented. Not that he was, but that's what he represented. But the more so is I want to dive into this because the thing that I sent you, I don't know if it actually went through Discord. It was a PDF of like all the different like top 10
saber companies and their price tag compared to Theory sabers. And when Star Wars Marvel Purist was, I might say not debating, but when he was talking to him, you know, he's like, well, that's because we put in preloaded sound phonics or something that were like $5 a pop or $10 a pop. So you're getting, and if that's true, that you're getting a $50, you know, sound board included, but that evens out for his price. I don't know. I just think his sabers are absolutely. I just think they're expensive compared to like. I'm not a saber guy. I probably never buy one. But like I've always heard, like, you know, the companies that I was familiar with were, you know, I think Saber Forge and Ultra Sabers, and there's like 3 on there that I've heard of. So I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of see the price comparison.
So
because I asked the question, I think, because I asked the question, I was like, does Star Wars Theory does he price gouge?
Go with the competitors and stuff like that.
Well, and he'll tell you like, well, all the other competitors are made in China, mine are not. But again, he also said, you know, he said something during when Marvel Purist was debating him. He's like, you know, just because it says American made, all they have to do is just change one part. So it could be made in China, but they just change like a screw, and then that's how they can say that it's American made.
Made
so,
American, yeah. Well, and
right.
a lot of the times, you know, it's they get the parts from China or wherever, but then they get the parts shipped to America, and then it's assembled in America. Then they try and, you know, use that as oh, American made.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They buy buy materials from third world countries, assemble them technically in the US, and say made in America.
Now
Quote,
some things,
unquote.
now some things do put that on there that it was assembled in America, but a lot of times I doubt they're being that transparent.
Right.
Now the more important question here, lads, your favorite lightsaber hilt style. What are you going with? Palpatine? Oh wow, straight away. Brilliant. Fractured?
I think we all know he's gonna say Katarn.
I was gonna say I kind of expect that, but
or Desaad.
Episode 6, Luke Skywalker lightsaber hilt, and Obi-Wan Kenobi Revenge of the Sith lightsaber hilt. Those are my two favorites.
I did not think he was going to say that. I was going to go for Katarn.
Those have been my two favorites.
Or Dash Rendar's.
Dash Rendar doesn't have a lightsaber.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He's not a Force user.
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is.
He is.
Oh, God damn it! Not you two.
What are you talking about? Obviously,
after Shadows of the Empire, he became one. He went to the Valley of the Jedi.
He was trained by Luke Skywalker. Luke Bywalker.
No, he was trained by Morgan.
So true.
Yes, I'm on one. He
in all
was
accounts
trained by Morgan.
Rendar.
We just listened to the Shadows of the Empire, right? This is lore. You heard it.
Rendar died at the end of the book.
Lies and slander.
I hate you all so much.
Riddle me this, Batman. How could he have died and then became a Jedi?
Come on, how could he have died and had a game made after? This doesn't make sense. Think about it.
Anyway, I have the PDF up. So
no, you need to answer. No. You need to answer this. How can you die at the end of the book and then become a Jedi? You're gonna go to Force school while you're a Force ghost.
Come on, even the game contradicts the lore here. It's not clear if Dash actually died or not.
Games are part of lore.
Are you gonna just follow the book or something? Come on.
Or you gonna follow the game?
In the game, it was even more clearly made explicit that he died.
No, that's bullshit. There was
Because it
secret
shows-
endings where he survived. That's not true. You are lying, sir.
Are you sure you didn't play a knockoff version of Shadows of the Empire?
I don't think you even played that game. Did you? Did you earn all of the special achievements in that game? I don't think you did. I'm sorry.
Did you get your game off in LA by one of those like little bodega tent things where they sell the DVDs for like half
Were you
price?
playing some EA game or something? Was this EA? Have you been touched by EA?
I hate you both so much right now.
Don't just type here. What are you typing? I see you typing. What are you typing? Come on, answer us.
It's a death.
You're in chat with us right now. Speak with us.
Via text. What? I don't know what he's typing. What is he typing?
Gone into a completely weird territory now.
Who has?
You, as always. Always
You
up on
who?
your own little weird.
I know. Sheepster asked the question. I said Palpatine, and we both know you. I mean, he knows you a little bit better than I, but we both assumed that you were either going to say Katarn or Dash Rendar. And then you have the audacity to say Dash Rendar was never a Jedi.
We're just asking questions. We just want to hear information here.
With that
Yes,
logic,
he never
Kylo Ren should have been. With that logic, Kylo Ren should have been a person.
Wait, what?
Cassian Andor should have been a person.
I mean, it would have been nice if he got, destroyed sooner, but we were not so fortunate.
Speak your mind. We're all adults.
We want to hear what you think.
Use your
You're in a
words.
safe place.
Do you need some safety pins?
Here I made sure to have all of this up and ready for when you wanted to get into this topic, because it was something you actually seem to have been collecting the information for.
I'm just being respectful and trying to ask you.
I'm just now you're going into this whole weird territory of trying to tell me that Dash Rendar became a Jedi, which he never did. And you have no evidence for it.
Wait, Dash Rendar isn't Kyle Katarn?
I thought this was his stage name.
Right? I mean, people go by different names all the time.
Kylo Ren, Ben Solo.
I mean, Darth Bane called himself Dez at some point. What the hell's that?
Desmond, but yes, Des.
Which was before he became Darth Bane.
This poor man is rubbing his temples.
How do we even know that he became Darth? That's not even his name. It was Desmond. Do we all have names? Okay, get back to the PDF. I can envision I can envision him like driving his finger into his temple.
He is in extreme pain right now. It's hilarious.
Circular motion. Hello.
It is the one downside to not being on a camera, because unfortunately the only one that could see me is my brother.
I'm sorry I'm here now. I feel like I'm kind of helping this along, but
no, you are not an antagonizer at all. On a scale of 1 to 10, how painful has this conversation been that you created? Are you sure that Dash Rendar wasn't a Jedi? I'm gonna look.
Oh
this
my
up.
god!
He must have been Force sensitive at least, right?
Everybody has the Force. Even Ben Kenobi said that.
Yeah, it's in
Well,
everyone.
Ben. So
when I clip this out,
technically,
I'll keep all of this in when I clip this out because, yeah.
You sure it won't just hurt you more clipping it out?
Oh, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will, but, you know, for entertainment value, I hope it'll be worth it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right, so shall we get back to your PDF here, sir?
yeah.
Okay. So in the PDF, where did you even get this, by the way?
I have some sources.
Okay, sources, gotcha. So Theory Sabers price comparison, Theory Sabers pricing overview, SE simplified models range from $219 to $279. Full feature, profi level, or I guess professional level builds range from $360 to $699. Much like we saw with the Palpatine hilt. With bundles near $1,000. Jesus. Competitor pricing. NeoPixel slash professional sabers, $230 to $270 fully built. Ultra sabers, $165 to $200 for premium sound builds, and then Padawan Outpost, $210 to $385 for baselit, $560 plus for full replicas. Reddit feedback. Oh, that's good. Reddit. Yeah, that's always a great place. Installers say Profi builds can cost upward of $100 for labor plus $60 parts. So much of the cost comes from labor and custom design. Is Theory Sabers overcharging? SE models for the 219 to 79 are competitively priced. Full feature sabers, 360 to 700, match high end options, and then the $1,000 plus bundles are luxury slash collector range, not wildly overpriced. Okay, so he's not overpricing them, I guess. Visual comparison examples: Theory RGB blade 59, Theory Saber hard case 99. YDD LED Saber Amazon $44.09. Simple LED, no NeoPixel. Dual Sabers Cal replica $465. NeoPixel soundboard. Final take: SE models are fairly priced versus budget Profi Sabers. Premium builds align with competitor pricing. High end bundles are collector grade, not egregious. Added cost comes from customization, branding, and labor. Suggestions: if comparing, prioritize feature set, NeoPixel soundboard durability, and then Theory Sabers price comparison. Check alternatives like Ultra Sabers and Dual Sabers. Use Reddit / YouTube for build comparisons and reviews. And that was all that was with the PDF there.
Yes. So I don't know. Brad should weigh in. He's the one who saw them. I just did a quick. I was just kind of searching some of those websites, and it seems that his builds are far more expensive than any of the other ones.
Well, yeah, because you put in the chat also the Saber Pro website that I have up right now. And I was seeing some of them, like at least somewhere on sale, I guess. For like here's like the Kenobi one from episode 3 at regularly $330, $199 on sale. I was trying to look for Palpatine's lightsaber. Oh, here we go. So even the Palpatine lightsaber that they have on here called Emperor, regularly $499.95, on sale for $349. And I mean, looks about. I mean, there's this, yeah, the theory saber has like kind of this more black casing around the hilt itself, while this one does not. So, I mean, yeah, cheaper price. And let's kind of get the actual lightsaber up to kind of do a final comparison there. Okay, Palpatine lightsaber hilt.
It very well could just be quality versus quantity. I'm probably not going to drop $500+ on a lightsaber.
No, I never would have intended to do that myself. So, and then here's I mean that the Sabers Pro probably has a more accurate design, while Theories is getting a little more specialty, I guess.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
I just want to point out also, I thought it was hilarious that Justin called out him for producing Disney Star Wars sabers.
oh, does he have?
Oh yeah, I think he's got like Kylo Ren or Ahsoka or some other stuff on there.
Let's see.
Double dip.
Yeah,
there's
the called it Snips. Oh God.
Yeah.
Dual King. Don't recognize it.
I will say though, I was almost tempted to get one. It was they had Malgus's.
God. Sorry, say that again.
He's got a Malgus, like Darth Malgus's lightsaber, but it's like a battle ready one.
Battle
He
damage.
smells pretty good. Yeah, battle damage one, but again, can't justify $475.
Well, and certainly not for something you're not going to actually get real use out of, other than say for display purposes.
Yeah, paperweight.
Right, here's the battle damage Darth Malgus one.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like just on principle, I need Malgus's lightsaber. Oh, it's $379, so I guess it went down. It was 400 something. But they should have the two ones that you were saying.
I've already seen them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I know I've been seeing some talk about Theory and his lightsabers and stuff like that.
Need to know truly if he's getting any of this stuff from China or if it's all stateside. Because that would be the determining factor in price, right? Because if you're getting from China, typically the conception is, China's cheaper to manufacture, but if he's getting it from China and then charging these prices, boy, he's really capitalism at its finest, man. $50 to make a saber and charging $600, like that's a shisha kugamunga. I really, like I said, the whole point of it was I found it very interesting that he created a saber for Palpatine and he
charged the 600.
And then Lucas himself. So I mean, is that the whole point of me doing it? Was like, is it a coincidence, or why would he choose to?
Or is it because he's or possibly overpricing his sabers and stuff like that? Well, and Star Wars Marvel Purist here said it's all from TXQ China.
And I remember
says
him
he's got his team down there. So
Yeah, I remember. He brought that TXQ China or TXQ at least. I didn't know if that was a Chinese company or what. So it's like, but if TXQ is a different, it would take a lot of time to kind of delve into this, but that's why I was a little confused. So it's like it's his company, but he's buying sabers from another company and altering them and then selling them.
or getting the parts from another place and then doing it
It's like
that
I buy
way.
something
Yeah.
from Walmart, dress it up, and then sell it for a profit, which I would assume that would be against the Fair Trade Commissioner, so it would be somewhat illegal to do that.
I wish I could speak a little more on that, but I have no real knowledge in that field. So
Yeah. Well, that was just my thoughts. Like if you buy it from another company, you do minimal alterations on it, add your soundboard, and then call it your own product. Like how much of it is actually your own?
right, and what?
So
Yeah, I unless it would depend on maybe if they like had copyrighted or patented certain product or certain parts and stuff like that. I know certainly
yeah,
like um game
just
companies
yeah,
game companies have done that with gameplay mechanics. They've trademarked them,
yeah,
and then it makes it impossible for other companies to maybe,
right.
branch off with that in some way.
No.
So
And Marvel Purist could probably he can talk to this better than I can. I just watched the conversation, which is it. We need to find the link because you should post again because it's a fantastic conversation. Like, and if you have the time to watch, I don't know, it was like 2 hours, 3. I don't know how long they were talking for. I watched the whole thing, but it was like it was really good. I'm not just trying to
blow
blow
smoke.
smoke up any. I'm not. It was really compelling, man. Like he had a lot of good questions, and they delved into this kind of stuff. And he
Okay.
did bring up THQ, so yeah, I thought it was just interesting. And the whole point was because it's like he makes Palpatine's saber and he charges this price, but it's like, is it a coincidence or does he know things that George has said in the past and he knew that he said that Palpatine represented that and then he just ironically gives it that price
Gives it
point.
that price. So
Right.
Marvel Purist was saying some of his first sabers were LGT. I sorry, I don't know what that means exactly. And it says he's a glorified reseller.
Yeah.
And then said he claimed it wasn't just his own soundboards. When I brought up the hilts being the same and no modifications, he brought up soundboards and Profi blades again, round and round, no real answer, so he dodged the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah, I do remember that. So that would be a better explanation. It's like just a reseller. You buy kind of a shell of a product and slightly alter it to prevent copyright or whatever it is, and then sell it for so you're just a reseller. So you're actually not made.
Yeah,
That's the question.
did just enough to. Well, and I mean he's already potentially in odd territory considering I'm sure Disney with their parks and stuff sell lightsabers and everything. So I mean, it's honestly amazing that any of these people are allowed to do it. I think it like you see a bunch of different names on them. That's how they skirt around it, I guess, by not calling it the replica of Obi-Wan Kenobi or whatever in the name, or the Obi-Wan lightsaber, the Luke lightsaber.
You got to do more than just change the name to
No,
sell it. If it's like
I know. But like if from like other companies, you do have to, and that's maybe why with the Palpatine design, we saw that slight black casing instead of the old kind of more silver pale kind of colorings to it. So
that's
there's
like
those
that's
little
the alteration
tweaks to make it slightly different.
Yeah.
So
that was a fun little thing. Like I said, not my cup of tea. Probably not going to be buying lightsabers.
No.
For
I've looked at
paperweights.
some just because of like I said, some of my favorite lightsabers, but the price, I can't justify it. no matter how
No.
cool it might look on a shelf or something like that, or on my desk or whatever. I just can't.
No. It's a paperweight. Unless you
Effectively.
want to buy one and tell me you want to duel, and then we'll do like a live feed, a live stream of us dueling with them. But other than that, no.
Oh, there we go. I could be the new fat lightsaber guy, and so I could replace the last guy that was doing that. Marvel Purist, it said Vader's lair has Bluetooth sound font and music technology, which debunks his, well, not everyone can install their own Profi boards or sound fonts. You'd be surprised how hard it is. And then said, well, Bluetooth kind of destroys that argument. Yeah, NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, yeah. So, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. Well, it was a nothing burger then. I thought it was fun, but
It's an interesting. I would even say if you could get more information, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Hey, at
Well, I
least
just don't-
at least you guys got to drive me up a fucking wall asking about Dash Rendar being a Jedi or not.
I'm gonna DM Star Wars Marvel Purist, and I'm gonna ask him
There you go.
just to spite you.
Just to spite me. There we go. There we go. Let me go back through the chat a little bit here. Boy, people were popping. Only goes back so far. Dan Blackroyd, do we have a PowerPoint presentation too? The early days of internet vlogs and online production diaries. The old essayists, yeah. Jorge Lucas, but the Empire were the good guys. They were. Greg says, OMG, Palpatine is the devil. Marvel Pure says, hoping to have Theory Sabers Exposed Video 2 out by July 3rd. Nice. I'll have to check out the first one then. Greg says, I thought he was like the grandpa in The Princess Bride.
I did too.
Marvel Pure says he's doing another sale since Trump is about to lay the tariff hammer down on Canada. Oh God, we're back at that. I thought they worked out a deal.
No, yeah, no. Canada added a tariff on something, and so
it started
Trump's
the fight again. Gotcha.
Yeah, Trump's like done. We're not trading with you anymore, and we'll let you know how much the tariffs are going to be.
Jorge Lucas says $600+ for a plastic saber. Take my money. Marvel Pure says, so shipped from China or Canada to the US. He's fucked. Pure says he never said they were cheapest either. He said we provide the best or something to that effect. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Again, not outwardly giving you a good enough answer for it. He dodges. He's good at dodging.
No, but hey, if you supply the best, you should be able to charge half a thousand, over $500.
I guess so. Greg says he personally attaches the decals to the default frame using his own special paste after he watches a Filoni interview. Ew. Marvel Purist Darth Bane. I'm guessing that's for his favorite hilt. Small Time Republic is a fan of the Dooku lightsaber. I was never big on the curved lightsabers myself. Darth Bane kind of turned that around. I was like, okay. And then like Dooku's is pretty nice. Dan Blackbird says lightsaber, the weapon of choice for all child abductors. Yoda trains them well. Oh no. Jorge Lucas is a Qui-Gon fan for the lightsaber. There we go. Greg says he personally inserts them into his ass before shipping them while saying, ooh, oh, Annie. Oh no.
Ban him right now. Ban him.
Well, I didn't ban Melee James last week for giving me the
But you'll mute me.
The copy
but you'll mute me.
of what Obi-Wan and Anakin did to
destroy him.
Hold on. So you won't
ban them, but you'll mute me for half a show.
I never intentionally muted you for half a show.
That happened last week. The people saw it,
It
or
happened
heard
for
it,
like
or didn't
10
hear it.
minutes. 10 minutes at most.
It was at least 32.
You are over dramatizing it.
No.
Intentional, and yet you let these chats go on. Unfiltered.
If I had my referee
Unfiltered
jersey,
despite
I would give you a
being diffracture filtered. How dare you?
I would give you a technical foul.
Marvel Purist says, just buy a star trigger from Mauritania. Help the Africans, not the Chicoms. Well, at this point, last I knew, China was taking over Africa, so
Yeah, they own half the like mineral rights and all that shit. So
yeah, and if you've ever seen the meme of it's also
the Empire Dust or whatever.
This is also tiresome guy. That's the Chinese taking over Africa and trying to reteach the Africans how to farm.
Imagine being these poor Chinese men trying to deal with Africans. Oh my god.
It's like the Cardassians trying to teach the Bajorans to mine rocks. Same thing.
I was gonna say bathe, but I mean,
just frustration all around.
I was gonna say bathe, but I guess you could say, you say mine. You once again have conflated mining with stonemasonry, which is a honorable trade.
I wasn't belittling the stonemasonry, sir. I was just giving
you said mining.
It's not a mean. It's not a way.
You did kind of contemptuously say it. You were like mining, right? I mean, that was your tone.
No, it was not.
Yes.
See, I mean, he agrees. It was kind of like contemptuous.
Of course he agrees with you.
It was contemptuous. I don't even know what contemptuous means, but it was.
Right?
Oh God.
You belittled them.
What do you have against this honorable work? I have to say, I don't know. Fractured filter may be more against honorable work.
Yeah, that's literally. You should have just said that.
And maybe 4 Bajorans. I don't know. That's kind of what you're saying.
How dare you? I am no such thing. I'm pro work camps.
They're
Job
not
fairs
a work camp
for masonry learning. I'm all for it.
I will say that for the fact that you call them work camps, quote unquote, is kind of offensive. I mean, these are educational centers. I don't know why you'd call them work camps. These are places of opportunity for people to learn things.
Well said. Well said indeed. You can come back
Yes.
next week.
I will next week.
You
well,
pretty much showed
fractured.
you pretty much showed
Fractured. I don't know. You're kind of silent here. What's going on?
You pretty much showed your hand when you said work camp and mining. I'm on to you.
Right? You told us what you believe in. We believe in honest work. Well, you call them work camps. What is this?
Fuck, I don't know you anymore. You're breaking my heart.
He's just hugging the dog, not even wanting to admit this exists.
Now I know why Padme said that to Anakin, because he conflated things and he broke her heart.
Finally, I'm in Padme's shoes.
You were with him. You brought him here to kill me. No.
Oh my God.
It's like you're force choking me.
No, I'll just wait
It's
until
like
I'm at work
it's-
and I'll physically choke you. I won't use the force.
It's like I'm dying of sadness here.
People joke around about the whole Bajoran thing, but I always knew the three of you. You're the three amigos. You're Martin Short, Charlie Sheen, or Martin Short and
yeah.
Who's Martin Short's? The three Migos. Who's the guy who Steve Martin. Yeah, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and the third guy, Chevy Chase.
Stay exactly right. We've
it's
always been
literally-
against Bajorans, but you've been sympathizing with them all this time. I have to say.
You know, I would expect that from Chiefster. Playing
Right?
both sides.
Exactly. I'm a liar. I'm a fraudster. I totally play both sides, but you are supposed to be honest.
Nightmare here had said, let's ask Kathleen Kennedy. I'm sure she has the answer. Marlo Pierce had said, very affordably priced. Who just listened to Shadows of the Empire? My brother and I did.
Oh, it was great. That was great shit. I love that. That was such a great audiobook.
Endar goes to Valley of the Jedi and learns from Morgan and becomes a Jedi.
The only problem
Yeah.
with it was that it did not include the soundtrack at all for Shadows of the Empire that was
Yeah,
made.
true.
It didn't have Shizor's theme, Seduction of Princess Leia, or even the Battle of the Skyhook and stuff like that, which was a major letdown in my opinion. It's very well done, but I was glad I didn't actually like sink the $23. I just used a goofy little Audible token or whatever that I happen to have. So otherwise, it was great going through that book again.
I recommend it. Absolutely. Listen to it. Well, if you're not illiterate, probably read it like I did once upon a time. But yeah, absolutely. It's a great book. And the audiobook was really well done too. I love the voices that the guy did. What was that? Who did the voices?
Oh, is that hang on, I'm gonna look. So I forgot who exactly did it. Let's see here. That was narrated by Mark Thompson.
Yeah, absolutely. He did a great job. I mean, he did Luke good. He did. I mean, fuck. He did Lando good. Even though he kind of like broke accents here and there for Lando, which kind of made me confused. It was like he's Southern or not, but. And then Shizor. Oh God, Shizor was so creepy.
Shizor was
He
about
made-
what I like.
He made Caesar so creepy as fuck, which it kind of made me go like, "Oh yeah, he was kind of creepy. He was kind of like just totally pervin, and he just wanted to dick lay and shit." It was like, "Oh yeah, perfect, beautiful."
Greg here says you do the opposite of Darth Maul. You're just too blissfully at peace that you don't die. Oh, okay. So that's how Dash Rendar lived. Nightmare says you forget when you die, you get 72 midi-chlorians. Oh, damn. And hello, Jordan Star Wars. How you doing? Jordan said, I always like the curved hilts. Some hilts are just more aesthetically pleasing. True. Greg says he played the Renpai porn parody. Oh God. And it said lightsabers are nerd dildos. Dan Blackbird says it's all fan fiction besides the Phantom Menace. That's right. I don't know what Star Wars Marvel says. No, he wasn't. Dan Blackbird says spinning is the only trick in Star Wars. Book of Boba Fett taught us that. Ah, Christ Almighty. Let's see. Greg says Yoda versus Dooku, lots of spinning, and Yoda versus Palpatine. Jorge Lucas says Theory isn't charging his customers enough. Then, Greg says, how did Vader escape after the Death Star blew up? He was spinning. Oh God. Dan Blacker says Superman used his super spin to burrow into Lex's underground lair in the first movie. Let's Let's see. Oh God. That no, I'm not putting
Good
that
show.
clip out there.
Good show.
Well, considering what I read last week, or was that the week before? I forget. Greg says, I wonder when Star Wars Theory will branch off into other movies. I think the double-ended Requiem. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no. Now that has more context. I get it more now. Oh Jesus.
On that note,
Huh.
I would like it after that comment. What?
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Let's scroll down a bit more. Brandon Trent said, did you see the celebrity drama that apparently Karate Kid villain actor Martin Kove, who plays John Kreese, was seen biting his co-star Alicia Hannah Kim in Cobra Kai at SummerCon? I heard about that, and then of course he had to apologize for it, but I didn't see any of it. I don't know what happened. I just heard that he allegedly bit the actress. I don't know, like fucking hell. These people, I swear. Greg says, I'm almost positive that they have a license deal that is in the best interest of both parties, not to disclose to the public, probably. Brandon Tran says, comedian Bill Hader had a story. He got into an argument with Martin Kove a few years ago, so he might be onto something about him since he's 78 now. That I'm also unaware of. Greg says neither one wants their audience to believe they are collaborating with each other, but both sides still get money. Most plausible reason he is getting away with selling Star Wars gear. That's the theory stuff. Dan Blacker says it's like McDonald's. They don't serve 100% beef patties. The company they buy the patties from is called All Beef. Corporate trickery is abundant. Greg says McDowell's makes the superior burger. Long live the Big Mick. Let's see. This is a wholesome show, Greg says Star Wars purist. Again, not true. Greg hates wholesomeness, so there we go. And then said easier to teach a Packlid than a disgusting Bajoran.
Easier to teach a Puckaloo.
A Packlid? P-A-K-L-E-D?
No, Puckaloo, the spider thing they eat.
Oh, those things, yeah.
Oh, yes. Looks like Chewbacca's babies.
Greg says, I believe that annoying associated with gay karate show is deranged enough to bite a co-star. Anything associated with gay karate show. Gotcha. Or anyone. Yeah.
Man, your chat is wild. Holy crap.
Hello, Captain Keeley. How's it going, sir? Greg says, actually, the very beginning of the second movie ended his arc. Yeah. I mean, that's where it probably should have stayed. Yeah, when I saw the ass to ass, I was like, wait, is that where he is going? And then once I saw your comment, it just made it all fit together. Greg or Dan Blacker is now asking for top 3 most disturbing movies of all time, Greg. Greg answers with Event Horizon is in his top 3. Greg says, tisk tisk, don't you know the Packlid reference, do you? I guess I don't. Because isn't it the pot? What was it? was it differently pronounced for the big spider thing that they eat?
Event Horizon is mid.
Damn. I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything to it. Yeah, Greg. Greg saying Kreese's arc ended with Cobra Kai is like saying Rise of Skywalker ended Luke's. Damn, Blackraid has Requiem in his top 3. Okay, well, Hitman, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, well, we're at that 7 o'clock, well over it. Shall we call it here for tonight, sir?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna call it.
All right. Big thank you. Oh, am I going?
Oh, dear.
Oh, Greg says season 2 of TNG Samaritan Snare. Hitman, do you know? Packlids are a race of scavenger retards. I have memory hold a lot of TNG, so I need to go through it again.
Yes.
It took me a minute. I'm sorry. I act like a packlid right there. Yes. Oh, filthy people.
And there you go. Greg
But they're
says
still better than Bajorans.
the Packlid captain is played by the guy who played the retard Benny on LA Law. There you go. All right, guys.
We find things.
Indeed. And then
That's what they say.
Blackbird
We
said,
find things.
a truly disturbing movie, Requiem. We should do a watch along after Thunderbolts. Oh, God. Anyways, with that, everyone, thank you so much for dropping by tonight. Dan Blackroyd, Greg, Melissa Lord, if you're still listening, I hope you're having a wonderful birthday or had a wonderful birthday, whatever part of the day it is for you. I hope it's a good one. Thank you, Brandon Tran, for coming on by. Star Wars Marvel Purist, Captain Keeley, Briscoe1234,
Chiefster.
and of course, Sheefster for joining us this week. Much appreciated, brother.
Woo! Play some Sutor.
Thank you, Jordan Star Wars Nightmare, for dropping on by, dude. Thanks for hanging out. Small Time Republic, Jorge Lucas. I already got Brandon Tran. I did post it too on X that Sheester was here, and Static was like, "Damn it, I'm busy." Oscar Frederick Wells, thank you. First time seeing you here. And Brady Wells. All right, that should be about everybody and everything. Thank you all again so much. We'll be back again, same bat time, same bat channel next week. This was as always, a whole lot of fun. We'll also maybe get some extra. Oh, wait, hang on. I gotta fix that. Anyways, thank you, Briscoe, saying great stream, guys. It was a lot of fun and always great to have Sheester join us, especially getting into conversations about all the
Dash Rendar, the Valley of the Jedi, Morgan.
all that, yeah. And of course, every Wednesday mornings, check out Duke Devil 95's channel for Wormhole Watch, as we've been enjoying watching Deep Space Nine. I think it's gonna be episode 7 this week. We're gonna be going, or tomorrow we're gonna be watching. So yeah, check those out. And of course, I'm on the weekend pregame, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Static 2020's channel. And my brother and I should be doing a stream for System Shock 2 multiplayer. Check that out once we do that. That'll be over on the Fractured Filter Gaming channel. Huh?
I said, wow.
I know. Melissa Lord says, I am fractured. Thank you. Watching the Braves
I'll teach him
with Zelda.
I'll teach him how not to die. Hopefully.
I had no promises. So with that, have a great one, everyone, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
And remember, just Do it.
Okay. And oh, Chiefs are still there. There we go. No, you're fine. You're fine. You were just
Formed, yeah. What you were out for from the very beginning, yeah. You were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. And together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah. But I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring. The one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah. But you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate, yeah. That put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter rage!